Hello and welcome, everyone, to today's episode, spin-off episode of Aether's Walkway, our very special episode, final episode of Breaking the Ice. I'm here with Trooper. Trooper, how are you today?
I am fine. How are you? I feel like there are a number of things before we start this date we should talk about for the chat as
Probably.
well.
I see that someone asked, they missed the second date. Was it also a zoomed encounter? The second date itself went pretty okay.
Yeah.
It's the time between the second and the third date that didn't go so great because we rolled terribly and we were like, let's make terrible things happen so we can keep attraction levels.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a little bit of recap, but I feel like before we recap, I feel like we should talk about happier things.
Sure. I mean, I like happy things.
Let's talk about our costume choices.
Yes.
Because we talked about that madly in DMs before we went
We were
live.
like, what do we wear for our third date?
What are we gonna wear?
Because, these are definitely 100% real dates, and we definitely 100% care about what we look like on these dates.
God, I was like, but it's not so easy, chat, to figure out what you're gonna wear.
No, for your sci-fi characters.
Because we're sci-fi characters.
Yeah.
But it's like a near future sci-fi, or it's like, it's like we're not gonna be wearing Star Trek uniforms.
No. No.
The weird onesies. Like we're not wearing onesies.
No. I mean, we could, but no.
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 But also have to like evoke our characters. Do you know what I mean? Like it was not as easy as you might think. Also, we have to think about what we have in terms of laundry.
I'll wear something dirty on stream. I don't care. I'll pull something out of the bottom of the laundry hamper. No one will know.
The problem is that dress shirts, if they're too wrinkly, then it's no good.
That's why I have an iron.
Yeah.
I've
shiny
definitely
silver.
ironed not clean clothing to wear on stream before because I was like, oh, this is my outfit for this game. I forgot to do the special load of delicates before this game. Oh, and I'm just,
I don't judge you.
Good, because I don't judge me either. And I don't care.
But Lindy helped me out. Lindy sent me a photograph of what she was wearing.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, you're wearing black. I will go with shiny silver. I feel like that is very sci-fi.
This feels pretty sci-fi. So
yeah,
like,
right? Yeah, I was like sci-fi.
Thrift store 10 years ago.
I think I got this from Thrift Town, which, don't laugh, but Thrift Town was this amazing
Thrift Town
store.
sounds amazing. I think I got this one from Goodwill, and it was like, yeah, it's okay.
Okay, Thrift Town is the best thrift store, and do you want to know why? There are two reasons.
Yes.
Reason one, it puts, you know how many thrift stores place their clothing based on color? I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. My favorite one locally does not do that. It's based on style, so it's like tank tops, short sleeves, long sleeves, blouses.
Or they'll do that. Thrift Town does it by size. So you can be like, I need this size, and you can just go to that area and get the things in your size.
That's how my favorite does it too. It's by style and size. It's magnificent.
But also the second reason why Thrift Town is the greatest is because it has a theme song.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, and when you're walking around inside Thrift Town, the theme song will just randomly play over speakers, and I'm gonna sing it for you.
I'm ready.
It's just a little jingle, and it goes.
I love jingles.
Thrift Town, your first class secondhand store. Thrift Town. That's it.
No, that's amazing. I'm jealous that I don't have a Thrift Town. I just now I will say the best thrift store I've ever been in was one in Japan. It was called Black Dragon. It was a secondhand shop. I was like, okay, I only have one suitcase.
Oh.
I can only buy so many things that will fit in my suitcase, and thus I walked home with I think I got 3 or 4 shirts from there, 3 or 4 blouses.
Nice.
And
nice.
They are amazing, and I love them.
So if anybody doesn't know, I'm Trooper SJP, and I play the lesser half to Ramos Livewire Cantata to Lindy's. I'm not going to say who you are because I'm not introducing you. I'm just introducing myself.
It's true.
Yeah. So I'm a science fiction. So I'm a near future dystopic in real life streamer. My character Well, at this point in time, actually, that's not what he's doing. At this point in time,
This is a flashback episode.
This is a flashback episode. So my character in this game at this point in time in our flashback is a red carpet reporter. Right, he's a reporter, and he has gotten a job working for the Supremacy, which is humans who don't believe in modding and are kind of gross and have all of the money. And they have taken over this planet called Osiris, where the natives have magic powers, but I think the natives are just sort of pushed out and probably gentrified and oppressed. Because the Supremacy are not great. They're bad.
They're bad. We don't like them.
We don't like them. But my character is basically a reporter who does society, red carpet, like lifestyles, the rich and famous kind of reporting. It's sort of like puff piece interviews with like famous supremacists being like, so what are you wearing today? That kind of a thing. And tell me about the renovations on your house. He face claim is Mario Lopez. And we can get into actual characters on the sheet itself, but that's, I think, a good overview before we get into the nuts and bolts of this game we're going to play.
Yes, and I am playing Zarina Nix.
Who are you?
I'm Lindy. Laugh, Lindy.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. And I'm playing Zarina Nix. She is a mod tester, modifications, so basically cyborg body parts tester. She's the person who has to go through all the things, being like, let's see if there's any errors with this. I'll try it out for a few months, test it.
Oh no, I just murdered somebody. There was an error.
There was an error. She usually doesn't do weapons testing.
That's fair.
But yeah, just more quality of life things, organs, basically everything except weapons testing for the most part. There's probably a couple months she's had that could be dangerous if used the wrong way. But she, for the most part, does just, like, oh, let's try out this liver mod. Let's do a synthetic liver. Let's see how this goes for, a month. That was probably a month Ramos was not thrilled about, because she's like, I gotta drink this much tequila every day. I gotta test this liver. Anyways, she might have a slight problem. And that might be, she might be addicted to mod testing.
Yeah.
You know how people get addicted to tattoos? She's addicted to getting mods. It's not ideal, but this is still early. This is early in her problems. Mm-hmm. And she's, she and Ramos have been together. They've had 2 of their 3 dates from the game Breaking the Ice. Mm-hmm. And they have moved in.
After about a year?
Yes, after about a year they've moved in together. Mm-hmm. So, it's things are good.
Yeah.
His parents don't like her, but it's okay. She doesn't have to see them all the time.
Because they're on a different planet. Hello, zombie and cheese duck. So can we go to the screen so we can show them our people?
Yes. No.
So, So this game is by Emily Care Boss, and in it, you can play the whole entire game in between 2 and 4 hours.
Unless you're me and Trooper, in which case every session's going to be between 3 to 4 hours, making it a 9 to 12 hour game.
Yes. And in it, it's for 2 players only, no GM. And you and the other person create these characters, and then you go on 3 dates. And at the end of the 3 dates, you find out, how that relationship's going to go. And it may go well or not. We will see. But in the process of making the game, you create traits for your character, a conflict about your character, then traits about them that you can use to sort of drive conflict, get dice. And also, you want to sort of build compatibilities with each other, which can also get you more dice. And so my character, Ramos Quintada, his conflict is that he's always on call. And his traits that deal with the self is that he has imposter syndrome. He's just a piece of meat. He's manipulated by his parents, who do not like Zarina. He's a charming disarmer, and he has an asthmatic brother. His work traits, hey, thanks for that sub, Prax. Ooh. And Renegade, sleaze. Oh, hello, zombie, it is so true. And then his work traits are that he's a driven journalist, he's a supremacy poster boy, and he's a former farm boy. And his play traits are that he's always photo ready, he has social obligations and that he's a CrossFit guy. He will tell you about it too.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what
about you?
CrossFit people do.
That's what they do. That's what they
So,
do.
Zarina's conflict is health complications because you watch the regular Aether's Walkway game, you've seen her artwork, which she's got a mask on, and I wear a mask for that game, because she had an accident as a teenager and got into mod testing because she needed to have her lungs fixed. They got jacked up real bad, so she's basically constantly on a ventilator. She's got artificial lungs which pump air, and so she's always got a mask mod on, or a variation of such. She's gone through a few generations of, the tech. But so that's her health complication. That's her complication, her conflict. Traits. Her self trait is we don't talk about it. We just if something comes up and it's awkward or negative, we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Nope. We don't. It's already behind us. It's good. We don't need to bring that up again.
We're over it. We're just over it.
She's kind of conflict avoidant, which comes into play with we don't talk about it. She also doesn't make friends easily, probably because we don't talk about it, and she's a bit conflict avoidant, and she's an introvert. So yes, but she is very health conscious until it comes to mods, because mod over life and life quality. If there's an opportunity to choose a mod, or like going on vacation or do something fun, she's gonna choose the mod. She's gonna choose getting that surgery done. Also, his parents hate her. That's a self trait. But she's observant. That's probably how she figured out his parents hate her.
I also think they weren't subtle about it.
No, they probably told
when
her
Ramos was not in the
when he
room.
wasn't there. Yeah.
I feel like when Ramos was not in the room, I feel like their smiles dropped and they were.
You shouldn't date us.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Her work traits are she's very dedicated to work. She's very dedicated, and she's tech savvy. So she actually, oftentimes when she's filing her reports, she will offer suggestions to make improvements and the like. Her play traits are extreme sports lover. She loves that adrenaline rush. She's also a video gamer, and she's made a friend. That's not Ramos. It's Sleaze, which his full name is Jalon Slazowski, but his friends call him Sleaze.
And also people who don't like him call him Sleaze. A lot of people call him Sleaze. Yeah. So, according to the game book,
yes,
for the final date, before beginning the third date, which this is, think back on the events of the first two. This is your last opportunity to wrap up any outstanding doubts or questions that may have arisen about forming the relationship. As players, consider what the relationship may become and what still keeps them apart, and focus on these things in your narration. In particular, look at the number of compatibilities. The more you have, the better chance the relationship has over the long haul. So I suppose we should think about the events of the first two before we dive into this third one.
All right, we'll start with the first date, work chronologically.
Yes, please. I agree.
So Zarina, again, doesn't make friends easily, but how they met was, there was a very crowded cafe. She was doing some work, computer. She was making a report, on a virtual computer, and she could see with her mods. And there was only one other seat available, and it was at the table across from her, and so he asked to sit at her table.
Because he had to do work as well.
And she's like, well, I guess if you're just working, you're not trying to, hit on me. Because she that would happen to her a lot. Because her face claims Gal Gadot. So we've got Gal Gadot and Mario Lopez.
Power couple.
Yeah, basically.
Currently not together because of the fake death situation, but don't worry about it.
But right now they're a power couple.
Yeah. Right now we're a power couple. Sort of. Complicated.
Yeah. And so that was nice. And, there was a douchebag who tried to get in between them, and that didn't really work, but it kind of worked a little bit. And there were some interesting things that happened on that first meeting / date.
And she helped him out quite a bit because he was not as tech savvy. He also needed some pictures taken. There was because he was a farm boy. He was just out of school, off of this sort of farm planet,
Bless
and
him.
it was not as worldly as the much, much older Zarina, who's like a full 2 years older
Oh
than
yeah, a
he
full
is.
2 years older.
She was like
Whew.
20 and he's like 18 at that point in time, whatever, right? And or like I think it was like what, 19, 18, 19, and she was like it was like
She's like
around there.
21. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, "Ooh, this job you have might be sketchy because they want you to provide photos without your shirt oiled up."
That
I don't
seems a
know.
little weird for a news reporter.
He's like, "Oh, have you heard of this news?" And you're like, "Oh, yeah, I have heard of that news. That's the naked news." Like, you just like I don't know. But he also is a bit of conflict avoidant. Wasn't quite certain how to
Handle that.
handle that. And unfortunately, she almost died
Yeah.
during that situation.
We did not roll well at all that first date, and we had to
We did
we had to
not.
pull out all our conflicts and complications. We had to make things real bad to make
We
them
did.
good.
And we did. But what ended up happening is that they ended up leaving their first date not having any contact information from each other and thinking that maybe neither one or the other one was actually interested in them.
Yeah, that's how bad. That's how bad the first date went. It went with them thinking they'd never see each other again, and they weren't sure if the other one was into them or not. And what the second date?
The second date went well.
Went much better than the first date.
Yes, it did. Yes.
They ran into each other at a tech expo.
On the space station where she lives.
Yes. And she was a booth babe.
When she shouldn't have been.
Yes.
She should have been the tech expert.
But because she was a booth babe, he did see her.
That's
he
true.
might not have seen her if she was working behind the
That's
counter.
true. And then somebody tried to steal one of the mods.
Yeah, a very expensive one.
A very expensive one. They both went to action mode.
Yes.
She took out the person, he filmed it. It was pretty great.
It went viral.
It went viral.
Which
And
was good for him and for her company that she was repping that weekend.
Which was then good for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she got some respect, more mods. He got some fame. They decided to go on an actual date on a cruise.
Yes, she almost got sidelined by the fondue factory. And an after work get together of coworkers, but he saved her by bringing her a salad, and then they had an actual date. However, they also got new clothes for this date, and she had to kind of save him from a really rude, I'll use the word rude, lady.
And you'll also use the word lady, because you might use, hey Petra, you might use other words besides lady, maybe like jerk, lady.
Yeah, I'm being very polite at this
You're being very polite.
Yes.
And of course, this lady is a rich supremacist, and we had to pull out all the complications for later. Their date went very well, by the way.
Their date, yes, it went really well. It was a lovely date.
It was a lovely date.
They decided to keep dating.
Yeah, and and they made out. And,
yeah, it was good. He saw her apartment.
Yeah, and it was some things were broken, but it was fine. But I would say no hearts. But that woman will be a problem later because she's this sort of rich supremacist that basically gets him this job. Doing actually work for the supremacy rather than just being like a traveling AP journalist as he had been. So if I'm thinking about sort of extent problems, Sleaze will probably be a bit problematic.
What? No. Sleaze has never been problematic for us in this game.
His job. Actually, the relationship, I think one of the new issues that sort of came up was the issue with his parents and children.
Yeah,
that came up as
that
a
was an
conflict.
awkward complication that she was like, excuse, your parents said what?
Oh, his parents said that she could never have children because she was so modded up, and so,
And she's like, that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, wow. Also a bit of conflict because his parents, unlike her grandparents, they have a different sort of relationship to money. They both, neither one of their parental figures have money, but Ramos's parents think that now that he has a job with the supremacy, which they groomed him to get, that he should be giving them money, and a lot of it, so they can get mods and all sorts of things. And Zarina's like, That's a lot of money. Like, you have
This seems excessive.
Seems excessive. You have no money because you give all of it to your parents for sort of frivolous things. And of course, because they don't talk about it, there's like a little bit of tension there because he's supportive of his parents, who are not very supportive of Serena, but not to his face. And she does not like the way in which his parents treat him. It's complicated. It's a complicated situation. Right? Like there's some, I don't know. Are you seeing anything else that are issues we might need to ponder?
We don't talk about it.
Oh, that's fine then. It's cool.
I feel
So
like
we're not going to talk about the
that's an
issues?
issue. I feel like
that is an issue. I knew that. That's what you meant.
I feel like that's an issue, but we don't talk about it.
No, but wait. So anything else? Because we're not going to talk about that one. I mean, wait.
We're not. I mean, does that mean we're going to talk about any of them?
Oh no, I don't. Yeah. So I think that's our.
Yeah.
That's mostly it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he's working a lot. He's working a
Yeah.
lot right now, and that's how she met Sleaze. Is he's like, well, maybe you should go try to make some friends because I'm working so much, and then she did. So you can't be mad about it.
Can't be mad about it, even though it seems like Sleaze is kind of into her. That's what it seems like.
He is, but she doesn't realize that yet.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't make friends easily.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't realize.
Yeah. That he's all like, hubba hubba, Zarina.
And she's
in a
just like,
passive aggressive
oh,
way.
good friend. She's that clueless person. We've all known that person. We've all been or known that person.
Yeah.
At one point in time in our lives.
So I'm the active player to start this third date.
Yes.
Which means I have got to set the stage for
and
our
I believe
date?
that we decided that this date would be about a month after they moved in together, which means a year after the relationship has started, basically.
Yes. And I feel like this should be like
and it's a date.
It's a date. It's an actual date that they have planned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should be let's see. I think it should be off site, so we should go someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Like we should be on maybe one of our first vacations together.
Okay.
I think we should be, let's see. Oh, okay, this would be juicy in a way that would be kind of interesting. What if it's on Nalmirius?
Okay.
Right, so like my character is from Mara, which is a farm planet. It's very sort of a lot of forests and
jungle and mountains.
Jungles, mountain agriculture. And you're from Vade.
Just snow and ice.
And industry.
And industry,
Factories.
yeah. Factories and ice and snow.
Right. And here's what I think will be interesting. So both of our characters in the game meet in Nalmirius, which is a city planet. It's full of city and pollution, I suppose, a little bit. And but the thing is, my character went to Nalmirius to hide out, a place where she wouldn't be, and also nobody would really sort of recognize him because it's teeming with life. And you end up also going to Nalmirius, probably because you figured there are no memories, there are not that many memories of me there either, right?
Yeah, because she couldn't live in the apartment anymore that they had shared for like 5 years.
Oh, way more than that, right? 7.
Oh, yeah, like 6 years, 5-6 years. It was a while.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I can't. He's dead and I can't live here anymore. It's too much memories. And also, really, she wanted to move to a place where she'd have a lot of opportunities to do more mod testing. Specifically, maybe some of the less legal mod testing. Because you typically have to go more on site for those. Fingers crossed that we're back. Hopefully my internet's stable and that hopefully it was just a weird blip. But we should be back. Yes, okay.
Yes, okay. I will just say refresh.
Yes, refresh.
We are back. There, I did it.
Woo!
Oh.
Okay. Sorry about that. So
I'm
yeah.
just trying to seed some problems by talking about mods.
Okay, yeah. So she would say, and then there's a psychological evaluation afterwards to make sure that you are coping well.
Oh.
They've done tests and they found out that people who get more than a certain number of mods per period of time, typically they wind up becoming broken. So there's very strict regulations on that kind of thing, especially for testers. You don't pass the very, very high bars on the test that you have to pass every time you get a mod. So.
Oh. What's it? What does it mean to be broken?
Well, if you ask the supremacy, it's a very simple answer, but some people, they just become a bit more, they lose themselves a bit when they've modded themselves so heavily that they don't really register themselves. They don't really see themselves as human anymore. It could also, depending on how many neural relays and things that they have going on, that could also be sending in signals to their brain. That's the electrical impulses might be overriding the brain's natural electrical impulses and can result in erratic or violent behavior.
I mean, I've heard about violence. I'd heard that, when people get broken, they start, shooting people and whatnot.
That's not all the time. That's only very, I mean, if you look at the percentages, that's not, it's not a high percentage of people who are broken. But it does lead to certain social stigmas and that kind of thing. Memory problems. Oh, there's all sorts of things.
I've never, we don't really have broken on our station.
Yeah, no, not really.
Or where I work or anything like that. So I've never actually seen one in person. But I mean, black market mods, that sounds like somebody's taking advantage of people, right? I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, some people can't afford to go through the very because mods are expensive. You know how expensive mods can be.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's quality of life mods, like someone needs to get a new liver or a kidney, or they have had their arm amputated and they can't necessarily afford to get a brand new mod. Sometimes the black market mods are just older versions, discontinued versions of like people, how companies, clearance out a bunch of stuff where they throw it away. Other people pick it up, fix it up, and sell on the black market. Other times it's things people tinkered with themselves, I've heard.
Well, but I mean, I'm just thinking, if you're getting a black market mod, you're probably not getting the kind of testing and aftercare and the stuff that you get.
That is correct.
So it could be unsafe.
Could be.
And somebody's making money off of unsafe procedures.
You're only getting one mod, though.
No, but I mean the people who are selling them, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, depends on I'd say depends on who's buying. Because if it's someone who needs a new arm to get back to work and they can't afford a brand new one from a company and they get just one mod, I mean, that's not gonna, you're not gonna get broken from one mod.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the people who are the black marketeers. I was thinking about them, not the people getting the mods. I mean, I'm just thinking there's probably probably an entire industry, right? Like an entire industry.
Yeah, I mean, there's always black market for things.
Right, but these mods are really expensive and they're difficult and they're made by companies, right?
Except the older versions or the discontinued versions.
But they came from a company. So
sometimes also people make their own.
I just wonder what the pipeline is,
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't have the specifics on that.
No, I mean you wouldn't. But if that'd be interesting, I wonder if there's a story there. No. I probably would never get to do a story like that.
I mean, you'll probably get some more hands-on, in-depth investigative stories. You just gotta spend a little more time.
Maybe if I spend more time, I don't know. I just have not had a good track record of trying to get outside of fashion interviews, red carpet stuff. But I feel like if I do red carpet, I'm going to be able to interview important people, and then maybe I'll see I can do stuff and jump off from there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's what
I mean, you've only been working there for like what? How many months?
Just a couple of months, and
yeah. See, I mean, I'm sure people work their way up all the time.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose we'll get there.
And also, if you like, you know, help edit or work on some other stories, like help other people who are working on that kind of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty good at editing. I mean, if I could just get my foot in the door of something a little bit more interesting, like
yeah,
like maybe I could pitch a story like that or something.
Yeah, they might be interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems exciting. Although they don't seem to be very interested in things dealing with mods one way or the other so much.
Yeah. Although Black Market mods seems like a horror story that they'd like to run at some point, probably.
Maybe.
Shock value, fear factor.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd want to do it right. I don't know. So anyway, I'm sorry. I got us off on a whole work thing. What I wanted to talk about was games.
Games, yes.
Right.
Space Overcooked.
Look, so here's what I was thinking. Space Overcooked. You have to go and make. You have to go and get animals, right? And then get the animal parts. And then while you're getting animal parts, you also have to create dishes and then serve them through robots. So there's a whole kind of cool virtual thing where you have to hunt animals, get their parts, make the dishes, and then deliver them. But it's co-op, so one person can't do it all by themselves. So actually, you have to sort of run around, and each person has to do little parts and put them all together. And if you don't do it in time, then things explode. And then there's aliens come in and start shooting people. So I thought it was this kind of neat thing where there's hunting of animals, and then you have to go through different space planets, and there's a whole timed thing and a racing section. And I thought we could do that together if you wanted.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I'll download the game to my VR rig.
Cool, and I've got it in my little little glasses up. But I just thought you might.
Yeah, well, definitely that'll be a great game to play while you're at work and I'm at home.
Right. I wish I didn't have to work as much, or that my work was less, whatever it was, but...
Well, you're the new guy, I'm sure you'll get more... I mean, we got this weekend off, right?
Yeah, we did. Speaking of, I feel like that should be our compatibility. It's just what I feel like. Yeah, right? Yes. Hey, I think our dishes come out.
Yes.
And the dishes are
the little train of conveyor belt dishes.
Right, and I feel like they're delicious.
They're super good.
And I feel like there's a quick eating of them, so that we could get to dessert.
Mm-hmm. Here I want to get my last bonus die. We'd order desserts, right? And I have I'm doing a little bit. I'm just doing. I'm I've got to do a little bit of work. It's just a little small, quick deadline. Doing a little bit of work on my computer. And when the dessert comes around, your triple angel food cake arrives. But there's a little snow globe of Vade that's placed on there, and with a little card. I think she looks at that, looks at you, and then opens up the card.
And it says happy 1 year, 1 month, and 3-day anniversary. And there's a little crude drawing of the little spaceship where we had our first date that he did himself. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I mean, it's
1 year, 1 month, and 3 days. Yeah.
1 year, 1 month, 3 days.
It's a big moment.
Yeah, I mean 113. That's like a very. It's for numerology. It's very significant.
Yeah. Wasn't that the number that was on the ship too?
It was. You remembered. Anyway, so
Hey,
I hope you.
Here, have a bite.
Okay. Takes a bite, and he's got. I think he's probably got like a carrot cake or some kind of like a cake that's like seems healthy, but it's also just totally not. And
she has a triple layered chocolate decker angel food cake. It's divine.
And probably also his cake is on fire at some point in time because it's meant to be. It's on flambe. Hey, there is. After you finish dessert, he's like, there's one other thing that I wanted to bring up. It's about you and I, and it's about what we're wearing tonight, right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little inappropriate, I think. Both of us, I think.
What?
Yeah, I just feel like there's not enough. Won't protect us against wind.
I think we'll be fine.
I'm not certain. Considering we have to get out of this restaurant, right? We've got this thing tonight. We
do have this thing tonight. But
luckily they do have suits for us upstairs.
Do they?
For when we leave.
I see.
The restaurant.
What do these suits look like?
Oh, they're very wind resistant, very thin material. Cover our whole body. There'll be a little rebreather, although you probably won't need it, for when we leave the restaurant.
All right.
For the last part of our date? Well, okay. Before the big event.
All right. Well, I think I think I would explode if I had any more dessert, so.
So why don't we head up to the very top, the roof, to leave?
Okay. She looks a little confused, but she's going along with it. She trusts him.
When we get to the roof, there's like a kind of like a cool skydiving way to get out of the building rather than taking like the super long
jumping
elevator.
Yeah.
There's basically a base jumping thing on the because this is like probably like one of the tallest buildings in Almerius, right?
Oh yeah,
and there's like a base jumping thing, and then he's like, all right, normally they don't stay open this late, but I asked nicely. What do you think?
I think this is awesome.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's do it. And they base jump after dinner.
We base jump after dinner and dessert, which I think is probably like the coolest way to see Almerius. Well, for people like them, right? Because you're base jumping in the middle of the city, right?
Yeah.
And you can like, I feel like you probably see the city in this whole different way.
And really quickly.
And I imagine we have like those kind of wings on our suits. We've got these kind of like sort of like slightly winged suits. So we're a little bit like Loxy, like we're sort of like Loxies.
Yeah.
And we can sort of then basically kind of, I imagine kind of like slightly fly through the city in these sort of like base jumping wingsuits. And like, how cool is that? There's like a
super cool. Zarina is like dinner and an adrenaline rush. I'm here for this.
Yes. And I think he holds your hand right before we jump, and then it's like gives you a quick kiss, and is like, "Let's go."
They jump. They go for it.
This means I get to roll some dice.
This does. It means you get to roll a lot of dice, actually.
I'm going to roll 13 dice. I'm going to roll 13d6. And
what, fives and sixes?
Fives and sixes. Fives and sixes. Five? One,
five.
2, 3.
Yes.
Five, everybody. We get 5.
Yes.
Okay. How do we feel about that?
This is the last date. I think we want as much attraction and compatibilities as possible.
Okay. But in order to have rerolls, we have to have bad things happen to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have 3 bad things.
Because we have 5, right? Okay. Okay.
Which if we get some more, we could get a new compatibility and a new level of attraction. If we get 7.
So we could theoretically reroll, what, 4 dice?
I think 3 dice, because there's 3 complications. Oh wait, no, hold on. Let me look at that.
No, the complications are the big deal. Complications
Yes.
are big Megillah. These are just having bad things happen in the course of our
that's right.
date. These are just like
Well,
small bad
complications,
things.
not conflicts.
Yes. Right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. We want to get our rerolls. And
Yeah, we
can
can't
have
reroll the conflict dice. That's true. Okay, yeah. So we
Yes.
can't reroll
So
the conflict dice. But
the last 6 is what I'm thinking?
yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
All right, so the last 6, so we can reroll that 2, the 2, the 2, and the 3. So that's 4 theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
By having bad things happen. Oh gosh, I'm nervous about having bad things happen.
We want the attraction and compatibilities. Because
I
this
know.
is the last date. We could
Okay.
say- do you want a suggestion for a bad thing?
I have one that there could be
Okay.
a problem with our flight suits,
Okay.
or one of ours.
Yeah.
Yes. I think there should probably be something
I was
goes
gonna say
wrong
her
with
hair got messed up from the base jumping. Yes, we have to do the club event opening afterwards. And that'd be bad.
Sure, but I feel like
It should be worse.
no, I feel like there's a malfunction with his suit, and he starts descending not in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happens. What would you like to do?
Oh. You okay?
No! as like, it's not working right. Like I think he's not like plummeting like a stone, but like clearly there's something wrong with
He's
with
like
one of the wings.
leaning. Yeah.
Getting close to a building, perhaps.
Have you tried resetting it?
What?
Pull
How?
Pull the little loopy string thing on your left.
It's gonna try to pull the loopy thing.
Imagine that like it's like an emergency backup, like would engage.
Yes, right. Which will probably take him more parachuting, so like he doesn't get to like, finish the full. Ooh, thank you, Quiet Geek. Thank you, Quiet Geek. But we do want to see the individual dice as well. I'll have to test that. Thank you, Quiet Geek. So I think that he doesn't get to the like really cool very end of the
yeah. He's a little more parachuty. He's slowed down a bit.
Yeah. That's one. And then of course I will take your suggestion. When you finally come and get me, you look. No, those are the wrong dice.
Oh,
those are the wrong dice. Those are the
That's right. We
conflict
need
dice.
to mark our success dice then.
Oh yeah, we do. We get 2 of the blue, right?
Yes.
And of course, I will take that when you come down, your hair looks a mess, but we don't have a lot of time.
Cause she didn't have it at her full 2 normal buns. She had it half down, and it's just like, it's just a mess.
Oh yeah, and I feel like we don't have a lot of time before we have to get to the premiere. And he's like, oh no, like. The adrenaline is like heavy, right? There's like so much adrenaline because it was almost a life and death situation. Your
Normally
hair.
ideal. Yeah? What? Oh no.
Oh. Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
I know of a cheap salon. We can go.
Okay, yeah, real quick on the way. Yeah.
And I feel like we run to get to the salon.
We do. Because we're good at running.
We're good at running. For complication number 3, how do you feel about them doing your hair in a way that is slightly questionable?
Yes.
I feel like you should tell me how it is slightly questionable for the 3rd reroll.
So I think they don't realize, because she's got blue hair implants, which dyes the hair blue as it grows out from the root.
Nice.
Because why would you wax dye your hair? Why would you go to when you can just well, there's a mod for that. I feel like there's a mod for that. And I don't think they realize that's why her hair is blue, and so they put like a thing on it, and it turns like a weird greenish kind of color.
Oh.
I mean, it's not like poofy and frizzy anymore, but the color's off, and where from the streaks play, like it's streaky in the places that they put the product. And they do it in like an updo, so she doesn't realize it till she's gonna take it down later.
Oh gosh, that's 3.
So it's like blue, green, and yellow, like streaky, because they didn't realize it was a hair mod.
Oh, and he's like, okay, we should get ready.
Yes.
Let's go.
Right.
And I feel like our last complication before we have to think about real conflicts, hopefully we don't need to, is that after we get ourselves set up and ready, like change our clothes, get ready for the event, we actually cannot get transportation, and so we're going to end up being late.
Oh, yeah.
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 So we'll get there, but we'll get there late. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to roll that 46.
Yep.
46, and I want to go higher than 4. Let's see how that goes. 1. No, sorry, I did it wrong. So it's 1 success.
1 success.
That puts us
okay.
at 6.
That's put us at 6. Which we could get 2 attraction levels out of that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. Yes. Okay, which is gonna.
We didn't get a compatibility, but we got 2 new attraction levels.
Which is gonna pass it to you. So while you are.
Oh my gosh, this is the first round we didn't bring in like the 3 conflict dice.
Because like let's maybe not do that. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna set us up for the next round.
Okay.
While you set the stage for our
the club
next turn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So. Excuse me. So the next
We're gonna
scene.
use some compatibilities next time, I think.
Yeah. So the next event is this opening of this nightclub that also has a performance there. So, we get to the club. We're a little late, and
what's the club look like?
Yeah. So
what does this Nalmiria's club look like?
It's like a 5-story club, and the front is all just glass windows. But they have different filters moving along them at all times. So people who walk past the windows as they're in the club with the lights going on, it shows outlines of different things. So like you can't see the identity of anyone who's inside of the club. Like if they're standing and looking out the window because there's a filter from the outside. So it projects just the outline kind of, but it even like morphs it a bit so that way your anonymity is a bit more protected inside. But even though you can look inside the club and you can see all the cool amenities and things, but you can't discern the people. And it's got definitely the multicolored LEDs just flashing and color changing and going on, and each floor of the club has like a different focus. So, like, the first floor of the club is the, there's a bar on every floor, obviously, because club.
Obviously.
But that's like the concert floor. That's where you get the music pouring out onto the street, which draws people in. So there's like the whatever performer is going on there and the stage. But that's like where the show is. Now the second floor, I imagine, is kind of, because the first floor is the stage floor, it's kind of just a balcony all that wraps around the floor with like a hole in the center, or no, it's a glass floor so you can look down.
Oh yes.
But people can't look back up. It's like one-way glass, so you can look down and you can see the concert from above in the performance, and it's more dancing and drinks.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool.
And then the third floor would be a bit more chill, not as much dancing. Maybe that's like the VR floor.
Yeah.
Where they have like units people can just plug in or put on, and like so that there's a lot of chairs and a lot of sitting, but you can also rest there, just chill out. Like there's a bunch of booths and that kind of thing. And then the fourth floor would probably be Ooh. So the fourth floor is like a water feature. It has a bunch of like, it's like there's a bunch of textures and waters, like those foam parties. That's where they would happen on this fourth floor.
Oh, nice.
The color parties, like that kind of thing. And like I imagine like the whole outline of the room is like has got those like glass waterfalls going on, and there's like all sorts of it's just a very sensory filled room. And then the fifth floor, I imagine that's the VIP. That's the VIP lounge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like? Because I'm gonna be giving you a die right now for your description.
Oh, so the VIP lounge is there's like a open central area for VIPs to mingle. Then the outline is just a bunch of squared, closed-off booth rooms with like the frosted glass, so for people to have meetings or just spend their time in there. And there's all sorts of amenities on that floor. Like if you want something, you just ask for it, and the club will get it for you.
I then hand this to you because you get your romantic gesture will get you the attraction dice, and then I'll give you those bonus dice as you tag your traits, etc. I'm ready for it.
So I think
How late are we?
I think we're not mega late. We're a little late. I think we're probably like 20 minutes late. So not super late enough to be like, oh man, look at those people, but we're definitely like some of the last people trickling in.
Yeah.
The opener band has already started. The opener's already started.
Oh, the opener starts. Yeah. Who's the opener?
Oh, no, the opener. Let me think of good.
Sci-fi band names.
Yes. Let's call them. Let's say it's like a Muse spinoff. I feel like Muse would do well in this club. Let's call them Inspiron.
Inspiron, yeah, love it.
Inspiron's the opener. And Serena, digs at Inspiron a bit, so she's like, "Oh, we're late," but I feel like we get there and we're about to enter, and she just like straightens your collar just a little bit, and then gives you a quick peck, and then grabs your hand, and they walk in. And I think she'd take him up to the second floor so they can look down on the concert.
Cool, nice.
Because she did a little research when he found out he had tickets to this place, so she knew that the second floor. So a lot of people don't realize that the second floor has the see-through floor where you can go. So the first floor is like really crowded and packed, but she's got up to the second one, and she would get you a drink, but like a low calorie, kind of like one of those like skinny cocktails. She'd bring one over for each of them, and we could just look down, and the stage is like all lit up, so it's exciting from above as well as the front. Yeah.
May I ask you 2 questions?
Yes.
Were you able to sort of find out all this detail and information because you were observant?
Yes.
Well, that's a bonus die right there. Is what I'm gonna say. And when you give him the skinny cocktail, which it's probably like a Tom Collins or something like this, right? He's like, he drinks it and he's like, this is amazing. But he kind of drinks it a little bit quickly. And he's like, let's go. Cardio.
All right. All right.
And he will invite you to dance.
Yes.
If you would.
She would definitely dance.
Because dancing is about being a health nut. And I feel like I see your low-cal drink and I raise you some cardio on the dance floor.
So we don't have cardio running here or anything. More cardio.
Yeah, of course.
We've eaten so much food. We gotta work it all off.
Yes, and also, and I think that his dancing is I think that he gets a little ridiculous on the dance floor to sort of draw attention off of you onto him, and also to make you laugh.
It makes her giggle a bit. She's not an amazing dancer. She's not a bad dancer. She's not great. She's better than Commander Shepard.
Oh, yeah, that's important. You have to be better than Commander Shepard.
It's a low bar, but she's beat it. But yeah, so they have some good times on the dance floor. I'm gonna say she's observant, but she also got some info on this club and the things she got some VIP passes. She didn't tell you this, but she had some VIP passes, which we can bring into effect whenever. But she got them from Sleaze.
Well, that does count as using one of your traits, which is a bonus point after all. That is a bonus point. It's a bonus point getting from Sleaze.
We knew he'd come in at some point. Here he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that those VIP passes is going to count as a romantic gesture, even though Sleaze got them for you. And I'm gonna give you those attraction dice for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because imagine after they dance on the dance floor for a little bit, she's like, "You wanna sit down for a little bit?"
Oh yeah, sure.
Like it's after Inspiron's done. Because she was more about the opener act, and then there's a little break before the main act comes on.
So you seem to know them really well.
Yeah, I have a lot of their songs on my workout playlist.
So you have your playlist somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could I get access to it?
You want me to send it to you?
No, can I look, how does it work? Show me how your playlist works.
So,
because mine is much older.
Yeah, it works a couple of different ways. I can play it just so locally, so only I can hear it, which is nice for the gym, working out and stuff. Or I could put it on speaker. If there's a speaker system, so I can, Bluetooth in, and we can play it that way. I've got just a bunch of playlists depending on, mood and stuff.
Let me see.
And she'd pull up her music playlist, and you'd see, not Spotify, and, Notify.
Speckify?
That's Notify.
Notify. It's Notify.
It's Notify. And there would be just music playlist titled Workout 1. It'd be Workout 1 through 7. Or chill workout, exciting workout, cardio. There'd be these workouts. And then there'd be sad, happy, reminiscent, angry. There'd just be one word emotion playlist after that.
And
then there'd probably be one that's just titled Winky Face, but doesn't have anything else on there.
All right, so if you were in a state and you needed some musical pick-me-ups, I would press this and this. Winky Face goes on.
A little bit of color, as she's pause.
Here, so what was Winky Face?
Oh, it's the Sexy Time playlist that she's not told you about.
Well, yeah, that's what he's asking. He's so what was, because he couldn't hear it because it was probably in your internal, right?
Yeah.
So what was Winky
She
Face?
has that one set up to not immediately go through the Bluetooth, and it's just private.
So was it joking songs, Winky Face, or
no. Leans in real close, whispers, it's an intimate playlist.
So your favorite songs by Princess Sparklehorse are not on there.
No.
It's all right.
There are a couple songs from Inspiron on there.
Am I going to be able to hear this playlist out loud at some point?
If you want to.
Okay.
Just not, in
the club.
Yeah, no.
No, that's
This is a bedroom only playlist.
Fair.
Yeah.
So I hope there won't be any crying, because I feel like that would break the mood.
No, that's the sad playlist. That's what that's for.
How often are you sad though?
I mean, not super a lot, but you know, sometimes you just want to get a good cry.
I suppose.
You just feel
Maybe.
better after a good cry sometimes.
Hey, we're
And
only halfway through
sometimes,
tonight.
you know, when you're gone for extra long, I get a little melancholy.
Oh, hey, I wish I could be around more,
Oh,
but
I totally understand. It's
I,
just not
I mean,
really had anyone that I've cared about so much aside from my grandparents, you know? So it's...
wait, are you telling me that you love me like you love your grandparents?
No, I'm just
Wow.
out of the...
Wow, Rena, that's just a pretty amazing. I can't, wow, all this time I thought, you know. I'm just
come on. And she just drags you up to the, through... I imagine there's like a foam neon color party happening on the 4th floor as they like head up, and she's like, oh, no, one more up. And it says like VIP in like neon letters.
Ooh, that's the VIP though.
Yeah.
But I'm
Do you want
not.
to sit down for a while?
Yeah, but I'm not a worker or anything. I can't get into a place like this. Are you
Why?
just?
And the doors open. I may have done some research when you said that this is the event that you got tickets to.
Well, I always knew that I was dating a very important person, so I feel like it is now proven.
All right.
Is that like that's Chairman? Oh my gosh. Nope. I'm just saying that there's some important people here.
Very important people, I would assume.
I mean, I would assume not as important. It's.
I mean, we're pretty important here tonight, so just for tonight. I was only able to get 1 night passes, so this is a special event.
All right. So, my lady.
And she would take you to one of the little VIP little rooms, the private booths areas that would like slide open, and there's like one of those like round couches with like the table in the center and like a little extra room if you wanted to have like a personal dance party kind of thing. And there's like speakers. There's so many amenities in here. It's a little ridiculous. There's like a whole menu of buttons to order things.
And he's going to order a cocktail for both of you that is decadent. Like, it'll probably have like fruit in it, and probably also sugar. You know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Just noting it. I'm going wild now.
Going wild.
So it's our 113, which
Yes, it's our
everybody knows.
113. 1 year, 1 month, and 3 days.
So, what do you think? Is it? Are you happy?
Of course I am. Are you happy?
I am happy. I just want to make sure that. No, I am. I don't know. I just want to make sure that. I mean, like I clean the bathroom and all that. I just. Really,
I'm very happy, Ramos.
So.
And I'm glad you've moved in. I know it's been a month of officially of you bringing your stuff over. Not that pod hotel anymore.
Well, the pod hotel had its charm,
It did, but there wasn't a lot of room to maneuver.
No, but that was charming for a full 2 weeks. Okay. Look, tell me something tell me a dream of yours. What do you want to do with the rest of your life?
Oh, with the rest of my life, I haven't quite thought that far ahead. But I really love working with mods.
Okay. So what's the next step in your career ladder?
You know how I do a lot of I do a lot of feedback when I do my reports, and that's one of the reasons I get some of the jobs that I do. I've thought about designing.
Oh, you'd be amazing at that.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could do it because I already
You
know
totally could.
a lot of the mechanical stuff. I'd have to take some classes for sure, and then get like certifications, and then apply. It's a really difficult market to get your foot in the door in because all sorts of people want to design mods, but
Yeah, but
it could be fun. I am
but
happy
you're
just
brilliant.
testing though as well.
No, but you're brilliant. You're like one of the smartest people I know. So
You
if
should
you want to,
you should meet more people. You should get out more.
I meet people on the red carpet all the time. I'm just gonna point out, I'm all the time on the red carpet meeting all sorts of people. And you're one of the smartest people I know. So what can I do to help?
I don't know. I guess I just gotta sign up for some classes, I guess, or do it.
Okay. Look, hey, I went to journalism school
Mm-hmm.
and I took lots of notes. And I would sometimes actually use notes on actual physical paper. So if you want me to help you,
She looks like what?
yeah, I mean, you could wipe it off, but like you'd have like these like physical note cards you'd write on them and you'd wipe them off.
How would you do physical cards?
Well, it's like physical. Look,
Okay.
here's the thing. What I'm trying to
Alright.
say is, when it's physical, it gives you like more than one way to learn something, right? So you learn it like
Man, I haven't tried it, but I'm sure it could work.
I'm just saying I'll be your study buddy.
Thank you. Let's give me some really techie terms.
I will have no idea what
Those
they're talking about probably.
flashcards.
But I will test you if you want.
All right. Well, I mean, the classes are pretty self-contained because a lot of times people just do like a certification for one thing or another and stuff. So maybe maybe if you have like a really long business trip, I'll take a class while you're gone, and then you can help quiz me on it when you get back.
All right, I will. And also, like, look, I'm going to tell you this. You may not know this about me, but I'm really good at a protein shake. And if you need protein shakes while you're studying, burning those like.
Well, vitamins are very important for the brain when you're studying.
Yeah, and I'll be your sexy house husband, just making protein shakes for you.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
All right, so just so you know.
And if you ever need protein shake as well, I'll make you a smoothie.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But as long as the smoothie is dynamic and exciting.
Oh, I'd hate to give you a boring smoothie.
No, that would be the worst. All right, so you're gonna be a designer, a mod designer.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that was a little bit of health nut, by the way.
But we already got our health nut.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
we
already
did.
got our health nut. We
Boo.
did. We need to get
okay.
adventure in gaming.
Adventure in gaming. Yeah.
I would give it to you, but we already got it.
No, it's true. It's true. Okay.
I know.
So yeah, mod designer. What about you? I know you want to do some more hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to interview some people who are not going to tell me. I mean, I just would like to. I don't know.
Oh, have you ever thought about like live streaming? Like in your own time, or like a vlog or something?
No, I hadn't.
Because when we go on some of our like adventure occasions, like we've talked about like jumping out of a hovercopter, then skiing down a mountainside. People might like that to like watch that kind of thing.
Do you think?
And it could show your bosses that like you can do more than just one type of journalism. I mean, you could give it a try, or at least consider it. I know I've seen some people that like do that kind of thing.
I think the only thing is
on ViewTube.
On ViewTube, yeah. The only thing is, like, that seems like a really good idea, and I'll tell you, I love jumping out of planes and.
Right. I think that base jumping was really exciting.
Also, when I almost careened into a building, that was pretty exciting as well.
Oh yeah.
It's just that I kind of think that sometimes the people at work don't take me seriously.
I know the feeling.
Like, they think I'm stupid.
But you're not.
Well, I mean, I'm not smart like you or anything, but
You're smart, Ramos. You're not tech savvy, but you're smart.
I can edit.
Mm-hmm. You can do all sorts of things.
Maybe you could show me a bit more computer stuff.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
You know, I could just get a little bit.
You know, there's actually
better.
a couple of fun games that like teach you how to program and do that kind of
Really?
thing. Yeah, in the game. So you play the game to learn tech skills.
All right, but here's my question: are there swords involved?
In a couple of them.
All right. So could we run through the countryside killing zombies and also learn how to program?
Maybe not zombies, but dragons.
Okay. All right. All right. If I could learn how to program through slaying dragons, I would do that.
It's actually a network security program. It's a very exciting.
Network security.
Oh god. Yes. So
What?
you know how you're connected to a network when you
Yes.
log on? You want that to be
Yes.
secure so people don't hack into it.
Yeah, I don't know how to hack those, so
Yeah, no, this is to stop hackers. And this program, because you run around with your sword and you stop the hackers, which are dragons, and you learn via the game how to do more tech stuff and to make sure you have a secure connection. Because if you're like, you know, especially if you're reporting like something really like not with your work equipment, like if you had like a story you really wanted to capture, you'd want it to be secure. So, you know, it kind of teaches you how to do like secure encryption stuff via a game.
okay. All right, so I'll tell you what. Let's make a deal.
Okay.
You go and start taking some of those design tech classes so you could go to the
Mhm.
next level in your career, and you can teach me how to do more computer things.
Yes.
Like how to
Games.
mod games.
Yes. Well, the games will teach you how to do some of the tech stuff.
All
Learning's
right.
become really intuitive for some of the tech things lately. It's really neat.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can actually show you. Let me show you like a quick little clip thing, and she'll
Oh, all right.
swipe up to like a projector on the screen, and she'll show me like some gameplay clips of a thing. I feel like this could be our gaming compatibility.
I feel like it's also adventure compatibility.
Oh, I think so too.
I
Yeah.
feel like it is
Look
both
at that.
of those things. Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh.
Ooh. Guess I gotta roll some dice
Mm-hmm,
in this VIP booth. Let's see. 9,
Yep.
6, 15 dice.
Yeah, 15 dice. And then do the little open mouth greater than 5, because Quiet Geek cares about us. And let's just hope that things don't go bad. You know?
I help if I type in 1d6, not 1dd.
Because I do have a compatibility if we can get one. No, that was 1d6.
Oh, that might. Hold on.
Don't roll 1d6. Come on.
That might be.
I feel like there's a difference between 15 and 1.
I'm gonna try that all over again because that was sad.
Fair.
Okay.
And the last 6 are compatibilities.
5 successes.
5. Okay. So while you're talking, I'm gonna do the things for you.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if you want some rerolls.
Yeah. Because we could get another compatibility and that last level of attraction.
We are at. Oh gosh. Okay, so we got 5, but we want what, 7? Is that what we want?
Yes.
I'm just gonna put our, our things. So we have, how many you can reroll? You can reroll. Well, hold on. I'll do the math.
The bonus dice, I know for sure.
Yeah. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the last 6. That's 2. So, you know what? That math is not making sense to me. I'm just going to do this, and it'll be easier. Just going to do it the easy way.
Yes.
I like the easy. So right now we've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rerolls you could theoretically do from the bonus, and then 1, 2, 3. So you can do 6 rerolls.
Okay.
That's it for 6 terrible things to happen to us.
Okay. And I can always bring in a conflict.
For more dice, yes, that is correct. For 3 more dice, yes, you can. That is correct. Just to see what happens if you're.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring in a conflict.
Okay, do it.
I
respect you.
I think this is the time to bring in a conflict since they're like, oh, nice chill time in the room.
Oh yeah.
Music's
This is why I like you, Lindy, because you're like, how bad can I make this? Let's do that right now. And that's why I like gaming with you.
You know, it's only sometimes. Other times I'm like, oh no, this is the worst.
I feel like you're like the worst is the best.
I feel like when it's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like this self-inflicted terribleness.
Because
Because I don't know. Let's see, whatever. So I think, the music changes because the main act, comes on, which is Deline Sion.
Oh yeah, Deline Sion. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deline.
Yes, Deline Sion.
I hope chat. Have you seen Deline before? Have you seen her perform? Let's do it. She's very. She cares. I feel like she's probably from Osiris. You know.
Oh yeah, she's got to be from Osiris. Yeah. And so, you know, she comes on and we hear that, and so we step out of the VIP room to, you know, see the projector of it, you know, up in the VIP lounge, hang out, maybe like get
like
the
a
rest of our
hologram.
Cocktails. Yeah, it definitely is a hologram. It's just that center area is a hologram projection of the stage.
Yeah.
And
It's like a really good hologram too.
so I think Ramos offers, because being the gentleman that he is, offers to go up to the bar to refresh their drinks. And at the bar is a very important higher up from his company who wants to chat with him.
You're bringing in always on call, aren't you?
I'm bringing
Yes,
an
you
always on
are.
call.
Yes, you are. Can I yes and that?
Sure.
Can it be that woman that you hate that is also the worst? That, by the way, I told Alice about. Alice was like, "Hey, do you have any supremacy contracts?" Like, "Oh yeah, here's some of
This
them. Here you go."
woman we all hate. Yeah, no, it could be her. Yeah, she's at the bar, and of course she wants to chat.
Yes, she does. And so I've got these like 2 drinks that are both decadent, and
she takes one of them
she does
because she assumes one of them's for her.
Yes. And she's a little handsy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just in that way that like there's a lot of plausible deniability, but like there's plausible deniability because it's just like, oh, you know, I'm touching your shoulder just a little bit too much, and my hand's staying on your shoulder just a little bit too long, but like there's nothing you could actually
But she
say.
definitely has a lot of pull at the company too.
Yeah, well, because she's the person who I have to do all these social engagements with. Like I've got to go to her house. I've interviewed her multiple times. She's like a. I think that she's probably like imagine her being like the editor of like a fashion magazine, you know, like one of these kind of like really like an Anna Wintour, like
and
a
like
really
her brother is like one of the higher ups at your news company.
Yes. And so of course she got me the job at the news company, but she also keeps me as her pet in that way. She's like, oh, I want him to interview me, and he should be at this party, and she is here. And
she's so surprised, pleasantly surprised to see you in the VIP area. And because of the holograms there, she hasn't realized Zarina's here yet.
No, she hasn't. And
Zarina, I feel like Zarina sees it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to interrupt because she knows it could be good for your work.
And he's conflict avoidant, so he's not quite certain how to get out of this situation without jeopardizing everything. And I think she starts talking like interview and like all this sort of stuff, and like demands he starts taking notes about these things because she's got a new idea, kind of almost as if he's a secretary rather than a reporter. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Do you want me to make this a 2-star conflict?
Oh, wait, but we get 3 stars for that.
Oh, we get 3 stars. Okay, well then, let me just escalate this conflict even more.
You get a conflict, we get them all.
So yeah, we'll get a conflict, and I'm also gonna bring in a trait to get a reroll on this conflict.
Please do.
You know who else is in this
Oh.
VIP booth?
Who? Who?
Sleaze.
No! Of course he is! Oh! Sleaze!
And you're busy talking
Oh!
to that lady at the bar
Oh!
on the other side of this hologram of Deline Sion. And so Sleaze comes up to Zarina. Because he was able to get VIP tickets, so of course he'd get one for himself.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And how weird he happens to be on Almerius, right? Just like
He's actually on Almerius a lot for work.
Weird. It's fascinating. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, sleaze. Fine. Oh yeah, and I imagine he just wants to take up all of your time.
Well, he's just asking like how the dinner went. How's the party so far? What I think of the club? Isn't the VIP lounge like super nice? Where is your boyfriend at like anyway?
Sleaze! Oh, he's my favorite.
If he went for
human being.
drinks, shouldn't he be back with the drinks by now? Oh, he's talking to someone from work. Wow, she's pretty.
I think she's hot in that cougar kind of way. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, she's the hot cougar lady for sure.
Yeah, she's the hot cougar lady.
She's definitely not unattractive. She has to be like really hot.
Because she's supremacy, and
Yes.
they're all hot because they make sure they are. I just feel like that's one of the things. You know what I mean?
Plastic surgery, not mods.
Yeah, no mods, but you can have plastic surgery. And I imagine when you look over, you see her drinking your drink and like putting her hand on his chest, just like in a casual way, but it does not seem all that casual to you. And he's like smiling and taking notes.
And since he seems so busy, I think I'll pull in another trait for a reroll. And Sleaze will be like, well, you got one of those VIP booths, don't you? And she'll be like, well, yeah, and you can just comes to the past. And he's like, I got a new mod if you want to take a look at it.
Oh, Sleaze!
And so they'd go into, while you're busy talking, go into the booth and he'd show her this definitely legal mod that he just got.
Does that seem exciting? Like you're like, oh, I could maybe get one of those.
It's definitely really intriguing.
Interesting. I feel like you should roll those.
I feel like I could get another reroll though.
But I feel like you should roll them first, and then we can,
I can roll the
get more
conflict
rerolls.
dice. I can't. You can only roll reroll. You can't roll.
Oh, that's right. Only one
you have to-
time. It's true. Yeah, roll those conflict dice before you make those.
And I can't
rerolls.
roll those reroll the conflict dice.
Yeah, that's fine.
One
hey,
success.
roller. Okay.
So we're at 6.
We're at 6.
We can get one more.
If we get one more.
So I've got 2 rerolls, so I feel like I can get more.
Okay.
And so
I
feel
can I
like-
just tell you that I just want to like punch Sleaze in the face right now? It's fine.
yes. And so I feel like ooh. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pull on one of your traits.
I'm ready for it.
Because
I'm ready
you're
for it.
taking notes in your secretary. She's finished Zarina's drink, or almost finished. You haven't touched yours yet.
No.
And you see, I'm gonna pull on imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
As you see Sleaze and Zarina go into the booth.
And can I hear him say something super techie?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like something
You won't
super
believe
technical?
the RPMs on this baby.
And I was like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what it's like the nano RPMs because like nanos.
the
is
nano
science.
RPMs on this micro.
Yeah, the nano micros, the gigawatts, the gigawatts.
And it's on an SSD.
And so like he says all this
Micro
tech stuff.
SSD. A nano SSD.
A nano
SSD. The micro RPMs on this a nano SSD.
with hexadecimals.
You can fine tune it down to the hexadecimal.
And I feel like I hear him say these things that I have no idea what he's talking about at all. And it makes me think, oh.
Yep.
And then like, I'm like, you're in the booth. And so like I go back to paying attention to her, the madame.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, I don't want to go and bug her because she's probably like, you're going to get a reroll for that one. He's the worst. Also,
I know what you're talking about. He's such a good friend.
Is he a good friend? Is that what he is? Is that what he is?
At this point in time.
Is that what he thinks? You know what? I'm not gonna bring it up because that's not my, but you know, you can do what you want. Would you like a suggestion?
I would love a suggestion.
I feel like you could have her pull him away from the VIP lounge and take a lap of like various people that's for him, but it's for her to show off her piece of meat. Her like, cause like basically like this is like, oh, let me introduce you to important people, but basically
well,
I'm gonna
they're
take
all
you
in the VIP lounge, but she just goes around to all the different
Yeah, and I also think that she wants to take that there are also important people to meet on all the floors.
Oh yes.
And then also she needs to like walk to be inspired. And so, but she needs him to take all of her notes on like her inspirations. And so he's forced to go around the VIP lounge and then with a bunch of supremacists who are there and then like tour the entire place. Meet like so that she can wave at people and he can take notes on her inspiration, which means that it keeps him away from Zarina for like at least an hour. Yeah. At least an hour.
At least an hour.
Like, because he's kind of conflict avoidant and can't just be like, I got a date right now, so I can't hang out with you because I don't think that. And I think he might try to like weekly try, like I've gotta, and then like that's just that's
They're both
not
conflict avoidant to a certain extent.
Yeah, they are. It's true. Because I have conflict avoidant on my sheet, so I'm just noting it.
She's just introverted and spotlight avoidant, so
yeah, it's great.
So I think if it takes him that long with
I feel like that would be another give you another reroll.
I'll pull on tech savvy, and that gives her plenty of time to take apart and look at this definitely legal mod.
Oh no!
But
that's gonna make her. What's gonna happen though?
She's not gonna test it. There's not enough time for a surgery right now. It's probably a little bit more like, it's not like a simple quick mod. It's not something you can install on the bathroom mirror in an hour. Yourself on a spaceship. It's something someone else would have to install on you. It's like something that goes on your back. But she definitely like looks at it, like little screwdriver kit, takes it apart and looks at it and goes, like, this is a really good piece of work. And she becomes, and then she finds out it's black market. And she gets really intrigued.
Yeah. What if she makes some kind of
sets up a time to go look at more with Sleaze while she's here on Almerius.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe if there's one she likes enough, maybe test one.
Okay, well that's 5.
And then afterwards she'd probably text her. I was like, where are you at?
Yeah.
That drink's taking an awful long time to get to the booth.
And he'll just be like, as he's typing the stream of conscious, he'll say something like, we need a name for her that we can tell Alice as well.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name. We gotta find the perfect name.
We have to have a perfect name. I'll be like, you know who is here, and she's taking me on the rounds. I'll be there as soon as I can. I'm so sorry.
You know who. That's probably like call her sometimes.
Yeah, you know who.
You know who. Who shall not be mentioned.
Would you like a full-on 5 reroll right there?
Yes. Oh! Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, that's
10.
9.
5, 6, 10.
5, 6. Yeah, 10. Okay, we have 10. We have 10.
No, it's 9. You're right. My math is bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No,
9.
It's 9. It's 9. Okay, we have 9. To end this part of the day.
Okay, so for 7 we can do an attraction and a compatibility, or for 8 we can do 2 compatibilities.
Let's do 2 compatibilities.
Okay. You had an idea for compatibility.
I did. I feel like we both bonded over wanting to learn things.
Okay, yeah. Learning new experiences.
No, like learning info stuff.
Yeah.
Like
interest in learning.
Inquisitive.
Or yeah. Let's do it. I like inquisitive.
But also that sort of ties into our like present day thing. We both are always like trying to find out.
Yeah. No, I like that for compatibility. Inquisitive.
Right.
Type
I like
it in,
it.
Or shall I?
I will type it in while you think about your next one.
So we've got inquisitive, and let's we got health and adventure, gaming, inquisitive.
Right? Like I feel like, or like something like inquisitive. I think is good, or like
I like inquisitive.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I'll do the second one too.
We have a lot of activity compatibilities, so maybe
do.
we should have a
something emotional.
Yeah. I was trying to think of emotional compatibility. Like shy is not quite the right word. They're both maybe like caring is too vague, but
yeah, caring is too vague.
But something along those lines, because the tender moments, because they have like little tender moments with each other. They're very, very sweet towards each other.
Attentive, or
yeah,
like it's kind of
I like attentive. That works because they are very, except for when work and life interfere, they're very attentive towards each other.
Yeah, like I think that's true. Like yeah, I agree. By the way, I'm working on our stars while we have this. If you would put in attentive, I will get our stars in there for us. Yeah, again, I will do this. I'll make the stars ready. The stars will align.
The stars are right.
Oh, that sounds very Cthulhuoid. That seems bad.
Hey, you're the one who said it.
Fair.
Cool. Attentive. Whew, okay.
Okay,
we got 5 compatibilities. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You've got 5 compatibilities. We need more, right?
More would be good, but we need that last level of attraction.
We do.
I think with them being separated, I think that's, and I re-rolled all my dice. I think that's the end of my turn.
Yeah, it is the end of your turn, which makes it my turn. I'm going to
separated right now. That's interesting.
Oh yeah. So okay. But all right. So when is our next date going to happen? So our next date's going to happen.
Yeah, and I imagine they rejoin for the end of the party, and then go back to Sleaze leaves before Ramos gets back, and she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to talk about some odd stuff, blah blah blah," and then they probably go back to the hotel. Yeah, you saw him. You saw him. He probably waved on did a little.
Of course he waved. Out. He was like, because he's just like that.
Yeah, he is. He
is just like that. He's just like that, and I hate him for it. Okay.
Means we need more compatibility dice too. Abilities now.
Oh, we do. That's right. Okay. I feel like I think the next phase of our date will be
because that was probably the Friday night.
That's a Friday night, exactly. So I feel like this is gonna be Saturday.
Okay.
And I think our date is going to be a tour.
Okay.
I think we're gonna take a tour of the city, like some sightseeing. Now, this is like Nalmerius, which is kind of gross, but I feel like there's still like sightseeing to be had. Like we'll get into like a nice, like a chauffeured vehicle, right? With like a clear top, so we don't have all the pollution, all the smog. And I think it'll be things like it'll be a tour of the city itself, the neighborhoods. Like one of those things like, and here's the history of, but then also like, and here's the building brought to you by the supremacy, this hospital. I feel like it'll be like kind of like a nice. It'll be a
Yeah.
nice tour, which will also give you a sense of where some of the things are in the city if you just needed to know. But I also imagine it's going to be kind of like here's my postulate that it will be a slightly less official tour in that it'll give us tours of some of the less savory parts of Nalmirius, which is a lot of it.
Yeah.
So we could just a lot of it. So they'll tell us where like the underground races are, and the like we'll kind of get like it's kind of like one of those like
This is the
tours.
insider tour.
Yes, it's like the insider tour of Nalmirius. So I think it'll be kind of fun that way. Like I think it's the idea of like he's like, oh well, like I bet there's like cool things in here that might be neat, right? So let's do this like insider tour. So I imagine when that it sort of picks up, we are on sort of like a hover car that has like a clear dome, and I imagine the tour guide is I imagine her being a woman who's like that rude diner waitress.
And so over here on the left, you see you've got the underground racing, and then
oh, great! Like that kind of like, but I think that's also part of the appeal of the tour, right? Like that's like actually part of like your tour guide is kind of mean to you.
Your tour guide is kind of mean. People are into that.
Some people, but it's like, but she's like, because she's like real Nalmirius. She's like what the real Nalmirians are.
Yeah,
like.
I know where all the hot spots are.
Yeah, that's her. Like, oh, really? And it's like, I think it's this kind of
Oh man, Judith lives over there in that block. It's real shady. 3 murders last week.
And I imagine we have some like clueless tourists who are like super rich also with us. That maybe we make fun of a little bit, like just on our own way.
Just
in
the DMs.
Yeah, just like.
So you don't want to say anything
No.
out loud.
No.
You can type it.
So imagine we're typing some sort of comments about like, look at these rich bozos. You know what I mean? Like they don't know anything about life.
They don't know anything.
They don't know anything. And I think what I would do is I probably had done some research in my way, which involves Fugle. It's just like a little Fugle searching. Or gaggle, and
Spoogle.
Spoogle, Space Google. And I think I was like as we're getting this tour, I was like, hey, I know that you're interested in this sort of stuff. Look down that street. There's it's like a charity mod place. It's like a clinic, like a low income mod clinic. And I thought that you might want to, I don't know, we could get out and go check it out if you wanted.
Yeah. I mean, imagine this is one of the tour places too that like stops every so often, lets people wander for about an hour.
Yeah. And then you come back in.
Yeah.
But they also tell you that if you get robbed,
it's not
while
on
you're
them.
wandering, it's not on them.
You have to sign a waiver.
Yeah, you have to sign a waiver. And I imagine it's one of those things where like Ramos and Zarina, they know how to interact in kind of dangerous places because they. I mean, her more than him, but like,
she's a friend.
You know, yeah. And so, but you imagine you have like some like rich people who are wandering around with money out. You know what I mean? Like just like being ridiculous, like credit
got
sticks.
their name brand purses.
Yes.
Coats. And we're like, we're wearing like sweatpants and comfy
and
shirts. Like gym clothes.
Yeah, gym clothes. We don't look like, and they're not designer. You know what I mean?
No,
like yeah. And he's like, come on. I wanted to show you.
Attraction.
Yeah, right? And I think he would take you down.
Only like a couple blocks from the.
It's only a couple blocks. Yeah. And there's a little. He takes you to this clinic, and it's not fancy at all. It is. I imagine it's like a nonprofit that's sort of like run by like some Nalmirians, you know what I mean, or maybe some people from Vade, maybe who like came over here.
Oh, Vade makes sense because all the manufacturing, they could get the second hands. Yeah.
So I feel like it's like a Vade like a Vade, like sort of like ex-Vaders
Mm-hmm.
who have sort of set up a nonprofit mod space so that you can get, but it's all done above board, it's all legal, but it's for people who don't have a lot of money and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so I thought that I would introduce you to the person who runs the clinic in case you wanted to, like, I don't know, do you do like internships or something if you were going to one day maybe wanted to do design stuff? Or
I mean, yeah, they do have like internships, or the more experience you have, the better to get on at a higher company, that kind of thing.
so I just thought maybe this place would be interesting. I mean, you're really
Yeah.
tech savvy.
Yeah, let's
Maybe
take
you
a
could-
tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like that's like it may seem like a weird date, but he was like, ever since you told him the night before, he spent like a bunch of time reaching like when he could, like
He stayed
including
up
when he was supposed
late
to-
after she went
yeah,
to
he stayed up a
sleep.
little late to try to find a place that might be cool. And I think he'd heard about this probably when he was like here, and like made sure that you could go and meet them and see them. And he kind of just steps back while I think the person who's running this like gives you like a bit of a tour of their space and how it runs. And I can imagine it's one of these kind of like really good do-gooders, right? Maybe what's that one race, the one that's the super tall ones?
Oh, Tellurians?
Yeah, the Tellurians, probably a Tellurian maybe,
Mm-hmm.
who is like, so we have 10 beds for people, and like kind of goes through the whole sort of.
Yeah, and she'd be asking questions about like the sanitation procedure, because she's very used to getting mods, and so she would be asking questions about the whole spiel and everything. And just
and I think that Ramos kind of like stands back and just kind of lets this happen, like with like this beaming pride, and just like, well, like every once in a while be like, oh, and she has a resume, and he has like spruced up your resume for you, and like just pings it over, just pings it over, because like I imagine you probably didn't have your resume like all super updated for like this new idea, but he was up.
Her resume is more for testing purposes, not
But if he does know one thing, he knows that thing. He knows because the thing about him is that he is a charming disarmer, right? And and I'm going to actually add a new trait because you're allowed to. And I'm going to add the new trait, which is knows business, which is actually one of his skills in the actual game.
Yes.
And because he knows business, right? That's work. He was able to actually get a resume up for you that looks really good for this, and they just like, and he was up all last night. He only had he only had last night since he found out about your thing to get that together for you. But then he does, which I feel like is.
I'd say this would also be pretty attentive.
Oh, nice. Do I get my thank you. Do I get my bonus die?
Yes.
But you got to match my attentiveness to get that other half.
Yeah, and I think like halfway through the tour, she'd realize that she's just been, and then so she would come back and be like, "Is there any questions you have, or anything you want to know that we could look at, or?"
And I think he's just beaming with pride, just like he's just so. He's just so happy to like see you in your element, and like, and a little bit in awe of you, because he rarely gets to actually see you in your element, and so he just kind of gets.
Usually,
to be in
she
your
gets
space
dropped
right
off at like whatever clinic to get the things, and comes out a few days later, or the next day or whatever. Yeah.
And so he's just like really excited to be in your space and see you talk, and I think there's this kind of like sense of pride and awe of like seeing you just be your amazingness. And he's just like, he's got this look of like such intense love as you are talking about this most of the stuff he doesn't even really understand, but he's trying, you know what I mean? And he is so excited. He's like, so what do you think?
This is really cool. I'm very surprised. I didn't know there was a place like this on Namirius.
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of money, but
Yeah, well, mods are expensive, so.
Yeah, but I just thought you might like this place.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you for taking me here.
You're welcome. I mean, I know the planet's kind of ugly, and you probably wouldn't want to be here like long term or anything like that. But you know, I imagine internships are not forever.
Yeah, and they also have some volunteer hours.
Oh.
They mentioned for the program, so that could also be good. Volunteering looks really good on our resume as well. Which, speaking of, can't believe you spruced mine up.
Well, I mean, I had all that free time, you know.
When we were sleeping.
Yes. When we were sleeping, but I just.
Well, then maybe after this tour we can go back to the hotel and take a little nap.
Sure. All right. If napping is, I would love to listen to that playlist though.
We can listen to that playlist and then nap.
Sure.
Okay.
We have another 2 days.
We'll be pretty tired after the playlist.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel it's probably a lot of cardio involved. I mean, it is important to be healthy. Burn
Very
calories.
important. Speaking of, protein bar.
Oh, thank you. Because you know, every 3 hours, and like they don't feed us up on this tour.
They don't. There's like hardly any snacks.
And I think that it's like one of those things where, because I feel like they're like on like an every 3 hour eating regimen, so that they have
small portions every 3 hours.
Small portions every 3 hours.
I feel like that's a health nut.
I believe it is. I believe that is. Thank you. And then and I think it's like, okay, so let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as you're done here.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay. So
I just want to get maybe like walk around the building just to make sure I can like remember what it looks like if I have to navigate here again.
Of course. And he accompanies you. He's like, you know.
Yeah, she just wants to look at the block and just get landmarks in mind, that kind of thing. And I have a suggestion for you.
I'm ready for it.
It's a terrible suggestion. You're gonna hate it. You ready?
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Does it rhyme with please?
Yes.
Oh, I'm ready. Go ahead. I'm ready for that suggestion.
So, he's a driven journalist. He knows business.
Yep.
Zarina's observant, but she's not looking for this. So I think what Ramos sees, but what Zarina does not see on this date, this could be a potential banking of a reroll for later if we want, is that when she's doing the walk around, we see like down one of the side alleys behind the building, there's a box being exchanged and signed for between Sleaze and one of the workers in the clinic.
Yeah. And I see it. I note it.
The box could be. There's probably a box going in and a box going out.
And I think that I wished that I could have recorded that, but I didn't have my glasses up because I had them in like my pocket, because I think I often take my VR glasses off. Like I should have them on all the time so I could see all the ads, but sometimes I don't want to see all the ads, and so I wasn't able to like snap anything. And I was like, but I noticed.
Serena's installed an ad block.
Yeah, but then you can't see that. Like, imagine I imagine you need it for street signs. Like, I imagine like so many things are virtual that like.
I imagine it's like a paywall ad block that just keeps like filters at some but not all, so it's just less bombardment. She's probably like paid for that for the weekend.
Yes. Oh no. And I think I will note it. But this has to be how something goes well. And I think what ends up happening is, well, we're gonna bank that one for a reroll.
I think so. I think
we're
that's
gonna bank that one for a reroll. But I think what will happen is that I think we'll sort of at this point, because we're I think what we'll do is I say, you know what, why don't we go, like I'm gonna pull us out of this space, because I was like, I don't like this. And it's like
she hasn't noticed, let's leave.
Yeah, there is an arcade
on the next stop.
Yeah, it's an old school one.
Because I know we gotta get back to the tour soon. It's almost been an hour.
Yeah, I know. Come on, but there's an arcade coming up, and
Okay.
it's really old school, so it's all like clunky virtual reality. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we gotta
It's
try that.
virtual reality without smells, right? So you've got sound
What?
and just like I know. It's VR, but no smells, and it doesn't really have full haptic. But I thought that
Oh, it's just the initial like the motion stick.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been forever.
But
I haven't played with one of those since I was a kid.
I know, and you remember when you told me about one of your favorite games from when you were a kid? It was some kind of surgery one. It was like Surgery Star or something like this. They have it.
We gotta go.
I don't know if you'll be able to go and be the surgery star and take out the person's heart and put in the new mod, but I feel like
Just watch me, surgery simulator star. This I'm gonna get all the gold stars. Gaming.
Yes. And I think we go to like
And
this.
and the star because yes, because he pulled her out of that situation. Like, let's go.
Let's right. And I think there's I think it's like I imagine it being like one of those arcades that's like dark, lots of flashing lights, but of course it's all VR stuff. So people have got like VR helmets on.
It's the
it's
big
like,
helmets, yeah.
yeah, like the big like visors, and it's sort of super old school. And I imagine I can't remember what the name of the game was. There was a game that was on the Wii. It was this like surgery simulator where you had to like cut and surgery with like the Wii sticks, but that was
It was very clunky.
it was very very clunky. And I imagine that it's one of these, and it's like one of the ones from your childhood that you loved. That he's like, this place has it. We're gonna go and play Surgery Simulator.
Yes.
And I think that he's not great at it. Like he's okay, but like
Serena's really good at it, surprisingly.
Yeah, Serena can do all the mods, and I think that he tries. He's pretty decent, but he's competitive, but he doesn't mind losing. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that's he's pretty mellow about that kind of thing. He's a good loser.
He's not a bad loser.
Oh, that'll be a trait. I'm gonna just take a trait. Good loser. I'm gonna say that because we can add traits
We do.
that maybe we could lose later, use for other purposes.
We can't use them. Oh, I mean, for like not for the final reroll, not for the final roll,
No.
because no rerolls in that one.
But I think while they're playing, he's playing the game, right? And he's like, hey Rena. So we're looking at this, right?
Yes.
How could you make it so that it looks better? Like, is there a way for me to, could you work out a way to change what this looks like?
Well, based on the engine that this game was created on, no, this is pretty good for that game engine. But if you were to recreate it in a new game engine, yeah.
Well, but we have VR, right? So we can overlay things on top of other things.
Yeah, but it still has to ride within the parameters of the program.
But
Because this is old VR. It's not new VR. And you don't have a built-in.
no, but is there a way to overlay on top of it something else? So that like rather than because if the program itself has those limitations, could you like put a blanket on it? You know
like
what
a
I mean?
smoothing filter, but it wouldn't crisp everything up super.
How would you do that?
I would probably work better with an eye implant rather than glasses because you'd want as few gaps as possible because with glasses you can see VR. With an implant, you don't even have that peripheral, disturbance. I mean, goggles might work.
So could you show me?
Because you might get motion sick if you have like the peripheral of the old graphics with the overlay of the new graphics because the difference in motion blur and stuff. Well, people used to get really motion sick on the old VR.
Right, but I'm feeling like it's like filters, right? When I'm doing editing, I could do like filters on things so that you look at something, but it doesn't look like you think it does.
Especially with the new stuff. With the new stuff, for sure. It's hard to overlay programs on programs, but you could overlay reality really easily.
Okay. So how would I learn that?
I could show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not on this equipment, but
Oh. All right. Well.
now we only have probably now another 20 minutes before we gotta get back to the tour bus.
Okay. Okay. But you promise you'll show me.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
I feel like that's our inquisitive.
And heart transplant complete.
Polyps. Yes. And I hand you like a scalpel virtually.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think I spent a lot of time in that game being your co-pilot.
Yes.
Right. Like being like, oh wait,
scalpel.
Can I get my? Can I? What do we? I got my inquisitive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got attentive, inquisitive, health nut, and gaming. So
We've already used gaming, attentive, and health nut.
Inquisitive.
Yep. Boop. We only need one more attraction level, and another compatibility would be nice. Do you want to make the roll? Or do you want to try to work an adventure?
I don't know if we can get adventure on this tour. I mean,
I
have
a
totally
suggestion for adventure
totally
to get the tour.
Yeah.
We're late. We got caught up playing video games, and we have to chase down the tour bus.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We have,
which means cutting down some alleys and stuff, and then.
But also parkouring it around. Like
yes.
we've got to like slide.
Because
under...
they go down a level. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's got to be like one of these epic, crowded like their little carts, and we need to get back because we may not know exactly where we are, so we have to catch that. We have to catch it. Yes. Okay. I will roll this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 plus 9. That's 19, my friend.
We should be able to get some successes on this.
19 D6 greater than 5. Okay, come on. Roll the dice. 9 successes.
9 successes. That's great. We can definitely get an attraction and a compatibility.
Yes. We only need one more, right? One more.
If we wanted to get 2 compatibilities and an we only need one more attraction. So
and that's
it's
3.
7 to get a compatibility and attraction. Alright, 9.
I'm gonna keep it there.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it there. That
sounds great. Let me
because I feel like we've got one more turn.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, we only because we would need 2 more.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Although I think we're okay because we can't lose the compatibilities.
Yes.
I think
yeah.
We're pretty okay.
Okay.
Man.
What's our new compatibility?
Let's do.
What did we learn about ourselves? Here's a thought.
Okay.
That we care about doing the right thing.
Okay.
What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
She's definitely planning on going to a black market.
Okay, let me be more specific then. I mean in terms of like helping people.
Okay, helpful?
Because I was thinking about like the clinic, right? Because I was thinking about what you had said at the date before about how like not everybody can afford mods because they're really expensive and some people need them. And I was thinking about that sort of like really like that sort of evoked a sense in it evidences arenas to like care about like charity, the undertrodden, right? Like the disadvantaged. And
she grew up poor.
Yeah, and so did Ramos, and I think he also cares about those things. So I feel like there's a compatibility about sort of growing up poor or thinking about the downtrodden that is like a compatibility between them.
Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not growing up underprivileged. There's like a word I'm thinking of that I can't quite put my finger on. Like we only had mac and cheese for dinner because that's all we could have. Yeah, cheese bread. Yeah. Mayonnaise sandwiches.
Government cheese. Powdered milk. Powdered milk can be really watery. Anyway, cares about the people. People's too broad.
Yeah. What is the word I'm looking for?
Right, because that is a compatibility between them. I think is actually really quite important.
Mm-hmm. Care about the little people?
Salt of the earth. Care about the little people.
Yeah, salt of the earth also works. I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Salt of the earth. That'll be our, because I feel like that is one of our compatibilities that I think is actually quite important about them. Salt of the earth. There we go. I got it.
Plebeian, that is a good word, but not quite what we're...
Not quite.
Yes, salt of the earth.
Which means this is our last turn.
I'll put it on this row so we can read it easier. Yep, this is our last turn.
This is our last turn. We got 2 more attraction dice. And we get 2 more compatibility and 1 more attraction.
Yep.
Okay, well. Okay. You get to set us up for our last date.
Okay, so I think Saturday, we heard what they were going to do Saturday. They did the tour, they listened to the playlist, they napped.
They did cardio.
They did cardio.
They did cardio on Saturday.
Listen to the Winky Face playlist. They napped. That's probably the more like relax and chill day.
Yeah. Also, they're just so fit. Like I just feel like
they are really fit.
They're just like super fit. That's all I'm saying.
Way more fit than I am. I live vicariously. My fitness life
vicariously. And I'm just for the record,
real.
I just need to say this about Ramos. At least Ramos at this point in time, he does not neglect stretching, so he's also flexible. That's all I'm saying.
Flexibility and reach are very important things.
It's very important things.
Things I've learned from Mass Effect. Anyways.
Chat, we're talking about sex. Go on.
So I think this is Sunday. I think this is the last day.
Yeah.
And I think, like, let's see, they had like a going out and doing all sorts of stuff. They had like a chill tour day.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I think to this day is maybe like shopping. Like they're going shopping.
Yeah.
They're checking out some places.
Because these are things you don't do on an adventure on an adventure vacation. Right?
Yes. And maybe they've got like a spa appointment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like a couple spa.
Yeah.
Appointment thing.
There'll be couples massage.
So it's spa day and shopping.
Yes. In now Marius, which is interesting because it's like both this really commercial center, but also sketchy, right? It's like this kind of interesting mix of both.
And I feel at this point, because it's still early in the relationship and Serena hasn't been making the big buku bucks yet. I mean, she's making good money, but she's not making the crazy amounts of money that she has when we're live. So I think it's not like the high-end spa. They're like low middle end. So it's definitely in like a slightly sketchier part of town.
Yeah. And I feel like he's making much better money now that he has this job. Probably more than he ever had.
But he has to send it all to his parents.
He has to send it all to his parents.
Because they need those mods.
And they also need like to renovate their house. There are a lot of things that they need. Yes. that they need. And also I think he's not used to having money, so he's, you know what I mean? Like some people,
thrifty,
they're not yeah. I think when some people are not used to having money, they spend it like water, and then some people are not used to having money, they don't spend it.
They don't spend it, yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that he like spends for work, but he hates it. Right? It's just kind of like...
Yes. And so I imagine they go shopping for like maybe a couple new outfits, like some gym wear, some new fancy gym clothes and stuff. And so I imagine they've done like some shopping, but then it was time for their spa appointments. And and then they're gonna do more shopping afterwards. So I feel like this is, they're at the spa. It's like massages, facial, get the nails done, like pedicure, manicure. It's like all afternoon kind of ordeal.
I feel like you get the attraction points for this romantic spa day. Absolutely. So we need to get all the compatibilities for this last turn, my friend.
We could try. We can try. Whew, we gotta see. All right. So,
You get one for the description.
Okay, yeah. So they're at the spa. I feel like they've just gotten in, and so they're like they got like they just put on the spa robes and they're sitting in the waiting room drinking cucumber lemon water,
Nice.
listening to like the tranquil, relaxing music, like soundscape of Mara.
Oh yes, it's of course it's a soundscape of Mara, which has got like the sounds of like Solovax and like
And a gently like flowing waterfall or creek or
gentle
river or
flowing
something.
waterfall,
Mm-hmm.
leaves rustling, and like it's
yes.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then like also for some reason there's a flute that shows up, like some sort
Yes,
of
like a woodwind instrument.
like
Yes.
a wooden flute.
Like
It's
a
like a
pan
pan
flute.
flute. It's a pan flute that shows up. And, because we have heard this music before. It's like, this is a bamboo pan flute. And you're like, why is this happening right now? Whatever, it's fine.
Whatever.
But
It's whatever.
It's a Mara soundscape. It's cool.
Sure.
And
yeah.
there's probably like a water feature in the spa.
Yes, there has to be a water feature.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And the cucumber lemon water isn't just like droplets, there's actual like cucumbers and lemons floating inside of it.
May I give you a suggestion?
I would love a suggestion.
Can we get acupuncture?
Yes. Oh, that'll be interesting, yes.
Right? Like, because I bet this is a place that actually does acupuncture.
And like the hot cups.
Yeah, and the hot cups,
Cupping.
right? And I bet they know how to deal with people who've been modded. Because this is
because
non-Marius,
it's not the
right?
high end in town either, yeah.
Yeah. And so
This
I
is
bet
the
they
mid-tier.
can. This is the
Lower
mid-tier, which means they
mid-tier.
know how to do acupuncture on modded folks. Which is, I bet we get this like sort of like couples acupuncture.
I imagine there's like a little diagram that Serena's filling out in the chart right now of
Yes.
what mods do you have where and where the and so that way they go, okay, we don't want to do anything on this and this. So she's filling out that chart and it's taking a little while.
Mm-hmm. Although maybe they also have like
because there's always
special-
that questionnaire of like,
Yeah.
do you have any predisposition to this? And so we're filling out the charts and you've been done
Yeah.
for like 5 minutes and Serena's still like coloring
Yeah.
in.
And where have you been feeling pain recently? Like where do you feel tension? Like all of that. Do you need us to oil up your mods? Like, they probably have they might lube your joints,
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a weird
absolutely.
phrase, but yes.
Oh yeah. So I feel like you would take that suggestion for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is one. I'm asking you if this is a health nut situation.
Oh yeah, no, because there's actual cucumber and lemon in the cucumber lemon
No,
water.
but also we're getting acupuncture.
Yeah, and like this isn't just we get the nice it's actually like it's gonna be like a deep tissue massage. It's not like the relaxation massage. This is the deep tissue.
And maybe a
You
little bit
almost
of
hit a
chiropractic.
building 2 days ago, like chiropractic kind of yeah, for sure.
And also we work out a lot, so we really do need our
the deep
our body
tissue.
maintenance.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do need that. We do indeed.
So it's a bit of a health nut.
Mhm.
And Zarina would be like, I imagine you get to like pick like what kind of mud mask you want and stuff, and they're going through the charts, and she'd point out a couple. It's like, well, I know that you mentioned that you were having a lot of neck tension from the monitors at work, and so I thought that this package might be really good for that for you because it's for like the office worker, like a lot of tension and stuff. Especially also be good for tension headaches.
Oh, that's really nice. Hey, I do want you to know that you have said more than once that probably I should get a lighter
Yes.
set of glasses because mine are.
I actually had a shop in mind for that later today.
Really?
Yeah. Because we're near the tech district. It's actually like, because it's the shopping and then the tech district's one like a couple streets over. We figure we could stop by and get you some new equipment. Because that computer of yours, A, that's not great for your shoulder, and then B, not great for your neck. we're gonna get you some upgrades.
Okay. That's kind of pricey though,
My
right?
treat.
Okay. But in return, I am going to fix your hair situation.
Thank you. Imagine she's wearing like a beanie.
Yeah.
Well, not right now, but she like yesterday, like on the tour, she had a beanie on.
Yeah. Right. I can take care of that. The mod part a little iffy, but I did research, and I also know how to make this look fine, and no matter what it looks like. Trust me.
Okay. I do trust you.
When you leave the spa today, go to the changing room. I can take care of the hair.
Okay.
It's just a little artful design. Well, I think I can make the blue, green, and yellow look purposeful.
Okay.
And also slightly cool in design.
All right.
We'll probably, it'll be like stripes. I'll make a pattern.
Okay.
A little bit of braiding is all I'm saying.
Okay. I can get behind some braids, I guess.
I've had really good hair and makeup people.
You have. Your hair always looks amazing.
Thank you. Also, part of my journalism had to do with a lot of that. Well, to be fair, my parents sent me to charm school.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned a little bit of something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure that I was presentable in public and, knew all the forks and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you're one thing, it's definitely presentable.
Thank you. It's always a little bit weird, but I feel like we get our attentiveness right there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And then I imagine, like, it's this time, like, she's finished filling out the forms, and then they get their massages, and, like, their masks, and, all the stuff. The spa treatments go well. They're delightful. It's really nice. And they feel, like, really relaxed, and they're all, refreshed afterwards, and then it's time to go shopping. And so she'll take him to the tech district. Now that they've bought clothes and stuff, and they're probably wearing some of these clothes, after the spa day, they go to the tech district, a couple streets over.
Okay.
To look for Ramos' new computer. And
because I imagine his computers I imagine that
he's still using the same one that she had to fix on the ship.
Yes. And it was the one he got
1 year, 1 month, and 5 days ago.
Yes, exactly. It's no longer a ship number, but it doesn't matter. And I also think it was probably cheap. Like, he got the best thing he could get for school.
Yeah.
His parents got the best they could get. You know what I mean? And,
and he's still using it.
Using it.
Like, several years later, it's definitely out of... Yeah. She takes some getting upgraded.
And I also feel like it's you know what it's like when people who don't have a lot of money go and splurge for a fancy computer, but it's like
I wouldn't know what that's like at all.
You wouldn't know what it's like at all, but it's not like, oh, here's the fanciest computer. It's like a Tandy. It's just like what it's a computer.
So if I get this now, I can upgrade these parts later, and
Yeah, and he's done it. He's like, he built it. He's not untech savvy exactly. It's just that he's not high tech savvy or like ultra tech savvy. You know what I mean? Like he knows how to do some stuff. Like if he called in for tech support and they said, "Have you turned on the computer?" He's turned on the computer. Like he's
turned it on and off again. Yeah. Yeah,
he just doesn't know a lot of the hyper details, and so he's still got. And I think the stuff he has is like heavy. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like heavier stuff.
Heavy. Yeah. Yeah. She takes him to like a store where they're made out of much lighter alloy, probably like ding and dent resistant too, for your work to keep it looking nice.
And that's because you're tech savvy,
pair
right?
Of glasses. She is tech savvy.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm just gonna.
And I feel like she also, when she gets this computer, which she doesn't let him know how much it costs.
And he's like, "Well, how much does that cost?"
Not important. What is important is that I'm putting these games on there for you. We're also getting you some. You asked for programming games.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's
which ones?
So we've got network security, defend the castle. We've got this one's very basic. It's very good. Programming for beginners. We've got
Can you get graphic stuff in there?
I can put graphic stuff in there. Just dink, and then like something else gets added to the cart. She's put a blur filter over the price.
Okay, wait. That blur filter you've got. I want to be able to do that.
It's in my software. I'm
No, but how could I do it like on the fly? Because like, here's what I'm thinking. What if I wanted to interview somebody who was like
Well, you would install this filter onto your equipment that you're recording with. or projecting with, depending on if you wanted
Okay.
it to be. If you wanted the filter to be removable, you would put it on in post. If you wanted to have it be, really, you'd put it on as it's recording.
Okay. Because I feel like it'd be really useful if I'm doing an interview with somebody that I could like
Mm-hmm.
blur them out.
We can get that tech on your glasses.
Okay. Yeah.
Ding.
Okay. Well, I want to be able to modify it.
Yeah.
Look, here's what
Well,
I'm
that's
thinking,
what this
right?
graphics program will help you be able to modify the basics. And the programming 101 plus the graphics program will let you modify the basic filters.
Because you know what this might mean, right? That you and I will be the hot mod couple. Like you mod with physical mods, and I'd be modding with like technology.
Okay,
Like
sure.
in the like
I can get behind that.
then we both be modders.
Okay.
Like in our own way.
Yeah, I like it. It's
okay.
Nice. I feel like that could be gaming.
It might also be inquisitive.
I think it could be both.
Right? Yeah. I feel like that is. Which means we really only have what are we missing?
Salt Adventure of the Earth and Salt of the Earth. I have an idea.
By the way, do you want to just roll your regular dice?
No. I'm gonna do it all. in one.
Okay.
Because I can do rerolls then.
Okay.
But I have a way to get some Salt of the Earth and some adventure.
And I think he's like poking at it. You know what I mean?
I feel like we check out, we get it all like installed. They install at the store, and we like take your old one. Like, we can give this to a recycling program, or maybe donate it to, a school or something. I'm sure someone would need it. And I imagine walking through the tech district.
He's just thinking about like just handing it over without having it wiped or anything like that.
And she's like, no, we gotta wipe it first.
Oh, he just hit erase, right? He just hits erase.
Okay, I'm gonna help you with that.
There's like an erase button.
There's cache logs, and there's a little more than just hitting erase.
So he just hit the erase button.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
yeah, we'll do a factory reset on that. That'll erase everything.
He's like, I always thought. Remember we were talking about those physical paper?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of putting data that you don't want anyone to get onto just little removable cartridges. And he pulls out like a little data chip.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like data chips are not hip because everything's in the cloud. Do you know what I mean? Like I imagine
in certain circles they're very, very like please.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he's also into them, but not from that end, but just because he's like. Also, I think that he probably had technology that still had, like, how like nowadays people don't use DVD drives.
There's no floppy disk drive.
Yeah, but I think he had those. Like, I think he had the equivalent of like a chip drive because his computer was older, and so I think he got really used to sort of removable technology that is not connected. Is just one of the things that he's sort of used to, and he's like, I just like to put things in like it's like this is a. Very secret.
Well, your new one does have a chip slot as well. So you requested that. So
because I know that they stopped adding them into things.
You can get them as an add-on. They're just not very common or popular.
I don't know why not.
It's just not a base model thing. I do have one, yeah. Because sometimes I need to do data exports for the companies, and they don't always want it uploaded to the cloud. So, safety procedures and stuff, that kind of thing.
Neat. So you could find out what was on this then.
Yes.
This chip here.
Yes.
You could find out what was on it if
I could, yes.
Interesting. Huh.
My chip slot's a little more integrated though, and she'll just like a panel pops up.
Oh, well, good to know that you could find out what was on this chip if you wanted to.
If I wanted to, and you just keep walking.
He follows you. Where are we going?
And I think there is one of those, like she's doing the factory reset to wipe the data as we walk.
Yeah.
I thought I saw one of those like donations for old like computer parts and stuff
Oh,
down this way,
okay.
and um, I'm gonna hit salt of the earth for us going to this
Yes.
charity shop
Yes,
right next
indeed.
door to this charity shop.
I hate Sleaze. Go on. Hate him.
Um, yeah, there's like a little like it's one of those like imagine the charity shop's not one of the front facing ones. It's like you go down the alley, the side alley, and there's those
Hmm.
little shops in the side alley. Like right across and then one down. There's like sleaze hanging out in front of this other shop. He's like, "Ah, oh, Zarina Ramos, so good
Oh,
to see
hey.
ya. Yeah, what you guys doing on Almerius?
We were going out on a date for our anniversary.
Oh, congratulations! What has it been like? Uh 9 months?
One
A
year, one
year?
month,
Wow,
and 5 days.
that's quite a while. Congratulations, you two.
And it's also our 1 month and 5 day anniversary of living together.
Congratulations. That's great. You two are just such a cute couple.
What exactly do you do, Sleaze?
Oh, I do all sorts of stuff. Right now, I'm helping my buddy with some programming at his shop right here. He's a mod. He does some mod repair.
Hmm. You know, Zarina and I were thinking about doing something, you know, maybe doing some boxing or Muay Thai, like something a little bit more, active.
That's really cool. Very active of you. Um, so Darina, you want to take a look at some of these mods that I mentioned to you the other night?
Well, I mean, I feel like we're going to go and do a uh, something. There's like a really cool sort of sparring gym. And I know that Zarina and I have not done that recently. And so we, at least in a gym.
Well, I think it's gonna be like we just got acupuncture. We're supposed to kind of take it easy for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I know, but we could just drink some water.
We could just drink some water. Like it'll just be like a quick look. We'll just take a look at and then we can I found because we're supposed to take it easy. I found out that further down in this tech district there's a simulator for what's it called when little spaceships that use the gravity and the expanse to
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like I found a simulator for that, which I thought would be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And it's an old
And
school
this whole
sim, so
conversation
it's
is
actually a machine that
oh,
slings you around to simulate the feeling.
well, that's cool. He's still watching Sleaze.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's just got his hands. I just mentioned he's got his thumbs in his pockets.
yeah.
And it's just hanging out.
Well, I mean, I suppose we can.
But they don't open till after dinner, so that's still a little bit. Just take a quick look at the months while we're
Okay.
here.
All right. Well, sure.
And so,
And like, there's like so much skepticalness. Like the
mm-hmm.
skepticalness is like on his face to such a degree you don't even know. It's just like,
Yeah, and so we go into like the tech shop, and there's this like a there's the Tellurians. What's the other one I'm thinking of? The Tellurians, the
Osirians.
Sirians, and wasn't there a third one?
I feel like there was a third one.
To the Google Drive.
To the Google Drive.
To Google Drive, yeah.
Dear Google Drive, please tell us what's the ones are.
I punched my drink.
And by the way, that was just a low-key flex where Ramos was trying to just note that that Sleaze is just not as fit as either one of the two of the couple.
Martites.
Martites. Mm-hmm.
Yes, 4 arms and 3 large fingers on each hand. No real nose, like gills instead. Very human. So I mentioned it's a Martite doing like because they got all the arms doing like some tech repair and stuff, and like one hand's on a keyboard and the other's like fixing a very intricate like probably like a leg, just like tuning up a knee. And so like there's a guy sitting in a chair without his leg, waiting for the leg to get like repaired and tuned up.
As you do, as you
Yeah,
do.
and he's like, just in the side room here, and I'm gonna give Zarina a new trait. That's actually one of her traits that she has
In real
now.
life?
Yeah, and
Love
it's
it.
lies and lying. She's good at detecting lies and lying. Um,
And I just
and
want to
she
note,
realizes that these mods and the side room are not legal,
and
but she looks at them.
I think that Ramos does not
Yes,
recognize this just yet.
if
And
at
I'm
all,
gonna
because he doesn't know mods super well.
no. And I think another thing is that I think that
These are just secondhand mods, you know. And she's like, right, yeah, secondhand. They look pretty good for secondhand, and then which basically secondhand here is code for black market, but Ramos doesn't
yeah.
realize that.
And I think that Ramos is like Ramos often it's a thing and it's Ramos often catches his image in reflections.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever he catches his image in a reflection, he often just kind of like just takes a beat to look to make sure that he's camera ready.
Yep.
It's like a habit of his that like he just always notices his reflection and always sort of like it's like he always takes that extra beat to just like stop to make sure that his hair is right, that there's not because his parents spent a lot of money
Yep. Mm-hmm.
making him look like this. And so I think that he is always just a little aware of whether or not he is like it's like he always looks at himself when he catches himself. And it's not like vanity where he's like, oh, I'm so hot.
It's
But
let me make sure I'm still presentable.
yeah, it's a little kind of um
Self-conscious, maybe even too.
yeah, right. And it's like just like confirming, yes, okay, I do look presentable. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a it's not like, oh, I'm so hot, but more like, oh, I have to just make I just have to like, am I still looking good? Am I still presentable? Yes, I am. Okay. Like, and it's I think it's actually a bit more about the imposter syndrome. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like a
Yep.
manifestation of imposter syndrome more than anything else. Although it might look to regular people like he's just being um, arrogant and vain,
Mm-hmm.
but it's right. It's coming out of a space of imposter
Yeah,
syndrome,
for sure.
and I think that maybe he missed one of the little cues between you and Sleaze because because he was looking right at the
And I think, you know, he's giving like descriptions of like what they do, and there's a lot of technical jargon, and Zarina kind of low key picks one out, but doesn't like get it installed that in there, but like you know saves it for a rainy day.
Mm. And I think that he missed it, right? Because he just
Mm-hmm.
happened to be
Cause I think
looking
she
at
like just
something
like
else.
probably was
Yeah.
like I'll like she'll try that one, but not like
Hmm.
now. And then I think they go. I think after that, which probably took maybe 10, 15 minutes. It was really quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, she goes. They go do the simulator, which it's kind of
Yeah.
like a you know theme park ride to a certain extent, and
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. And it's like adventure without having to exert themselves. It gets the adrenaline up because it's a really immersive
Hmm.
sim, but it's
Yep.
still a physical sim, so it's not quite VR. It's a little bit more immersive than that.
I have a
And I think
possibility for a
that's
reroll if we need it.
some adventure. Okay.
Yeah, that is the adventure. I will give you that. I will give you that adventure. But I have possibilities for us if we need it.
2, 4,
And I'm going to
6
get us to that final space. Yeah.
plus 14, 16.
Yeah.
22? Is that right?
8,
Probably
10, 2,
miscounted.
4, 6, 8, 10. No, you're right. 22. It is. People, I'm a little worried right now.
Okay, this is the last roll before yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
4 successes is exactly what we needed to get one more compatibility.
Um, so let me think.
Okay.
We want 7 plus compatibilities.
1, 2, 6. We have this will give us 7.
Okay. All right. I'm happy with that.
Okay. What is this last compatibility?
Um, unless you want to come. No, we don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need
No,
it.
we don't need it. We don't need
We
it.
don't need it.
We don't need
We
it.
don't need it.
We're maxed
Okay.
out. We're as
maxed
good
out.
as
We
we
don't
can
need it.
be for the end of the third
Okay.
date.
Okay.
Surprisingly few complications.
Because I had some.
Yes.
Let's see. Our last compatibility. Can I throw something in there?
Yes.
I feel like we have both evidence that we are willing to sacrifice for each other in certain ways.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Like we both have done things we don't necessarily want to do or like that are outside of our comfort zones for each other. And we both have swallowed things for each other.
Yes. We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. So I feel like we both sacrifice for each other. We are willing to sacrifice for each other.
Willing to sacrifice. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You take that. I will look at this.
Okay. I know we're on the last, and so I think
Yeah.
they do that. They go back to the hotel. And
By the way, I don't say anything about sleaze.
yeah, no. Willing to sacrifice. Willing to sacrifice. Yoop. Yoop. Okay. Oof. Okay. So, and then they go back to their home space station.
Yeah. And
Oh,
let's see what happens.
final reality check. This is different than the others.
It is.
Okay, so we make a final reality check for all the new attraction levels, but this time with some additional support. Roll for each attraction level, new and permanent, and 1 die for each compatibility. These dice cannot be re-rolled. Each 5 or 6 makes 1 more new attraction level permanent.
Okay.
Note, you cannot gain more attraction than you had at the end of the 3rd date. Okay, yeah. And look at your final attraction levels and number of compatibilities to help you narrate the outcome of the 2 characters. So
14.
That's pretty good. Do we each want to roll 7?
Good. Yes. Partners. Okay.
76.
I'm so nervous.
5. Okay.
I'm so nervous.
This will tell us how many stay permanent.
Okay. You first. You first, partner.
3.
Okay, that's really all we need.
That is. But let's roll and see
roll
how, yeah.
Roll the dice. Do it. 0, so I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it. Okay,
yeah.
that was really good. Okay. So we're going to turn those permanent.
Yes. So.
Okay. So now we look at our final attraction levels and compatibilities to help narrate the outcome for the 2 characters.
Okay. Yep.
We're going to follow directions for taking stock and then answer 3 questions about the relationship. So taking stock, we have 7 attraction levels, which means
amazingly we sacrificed so much after that 2nd date to make some of those attraction. We would have only had like 4 attraction levels if we hadn't done the sacrifices after the 2nd date.
Real bad. But also we also set up the ground level.
So many things. Yeah.
For things that are setting up. So we have our chemistry sizzles. Ha cha 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 cha.
Oh. 5+ attraction levels. All right, now compatibilities. We have 7, which is so much to do together, so little time. So we got max, basically, on attraction levels and compatibilities. Whew, for Ramos Sense Arena.
And now we have to answer the 3 endgame questions.
Yes.
After the end of the 3rd date, the players resolve the story of their characters up until the point where the game starts. Aether's Walkway starts.
Yes.
Reflect on what the attraction and compatibility levels mean when you took stock. Think back over the events of the game, and each player answers the following questions.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Question 1. I'll bring up question 1, and you can do 2, and then right. Do you think they stayed together after the 3rd date?
Yes, until he fakes his death.
Yes, until he fakes his death.
Yes.
I agree. Yes.
So for like a good 5-6 years. Yeah.
Yep. For another they've got another 5-6 years together before
he fakes his death.
Until he fakes his death, which sort of puts a pause on the relationship, I think.
For sure, it definitely does something to the relationship when you think your partner's dead.
Yeah, chat. Can I ask you a question? So by the way, the second question we have to answer is, when did your character fall in love with the other? So as we're pondering that question, Chad, I'd like to ask you, this is like a bit of a point of debate between a bunch of people. So
really?
Sure. Does it count as a breakup when you fake your death or not? This is just the question.
If you have a couple that
Uh-huh.
are basically engaged, and
Hmm.
one of them fakes their death
Yes.
for multiple years and does not tell their partner.
Yep.
Are
Does
they
that count as a
still a
breakup?
couple? Does that count as a
Yes.
breakup?
Yeah. So like, and then turns out they're not dead. Are they still together? Have they broken up? Like, I'm just kind of wondering what your thought is about the faking of your death and like what that means for your
Well, they weren't
relationship
married
status.
yet, so the insurance went to his family.
Yes, it did. They were like, dang family.
Because they weren't
That's
married yet. Because
that.
he had the ring, he was going to propose, and then he faked his death.
Yeah.
She found the
Yeah.
ring afterwards, and that made her cry
Yeah.
more. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. She found the ring afterwards. And but that means that his terrible family got all of that money. Man,
yes,
they're
his
so
family got all
terrible.
the money from the insurance because they
Yeah.
weren't married yet. They were talking about it, but it hadn't happened yet. And he didn't tell her he faked his death, or he was going to, or that he was actually still alive.
He probably didn't even have a will.
Probably not. Probably just went to the next kin, which was family.
Oh, they're the worst. The Wire is so lucky they didn't get murderized when they were reaching this rate. It's so true. Uh, if there's an oh yeah, there has been trouble. He was in trouble. Okay, Hello Zombie. What happened was that he found out about some shenanigans with the supremacy, and well, there are some things that Lindy does not know about what happened. So let's just say, uh-huh. There's some things that Lindy does not know, but I will say that let's say that he's like, I'm gonna say what Lindy knows. This
Okay.
is what Lindy knows.
Yes, this is what I know.
This is not what Zarina knows, because they've not had that conversation in character just yet.
No.
But he did an investigative journalism piece, because he's been doing only like puff pieces, and he decided to do some investigative journalism, which had to do with mods. And then he did that, but the story got quashed, and then they were out to get him and kill him. So he was like, oh no, the supremacy wants to kill me. But the supremacy did not know about Zarina at all. So he's like, if I fake my death and then I'm dead, the story's quashed, and then she won't get in trouble, and my family won't get in trouble. Like nobody will, like they won't be in danger because of me. And so he faked his own death so that the supremacy, who's in charge of everything and who wanted the story that he had, would not kill the people he cared about.
Yeah.
But
But would you consider that a breakup?
yeah, this is the question, chat. Would you consider that a breakup? This is, and also Holy Zombie, there is one piece of data. Well, there's one piece of data that neither one of us knew, is that the story was, the reason why the supremacist is out to get them has nothing to do with illegal mods, probably. It has something to do with other things that neither one of them knew about. That when he was doing that story on illegal mods, he accidentally probably got footage of something else that he did not realize he had. So he has data that is very, very secret and important to the supremacy, that neither one of them really knew about, actually, because he thought it was just about like, he was like, his story's about like the supremacy being a bunch of, what's the word? Hypocrites.
Hypocrites,
Right?
yeah.
Like the supremacy are hypocrites because they deal with illegal mods, but it turns out that was not what the story was about, that we're finding out in our regular Aether's Walkway game. But there's another thing that sort of happened that, yeah.
So secretive was he ever even with Serena in the first place? Yes, they were together for like 6 or 7 years. He brought her over to meet his family.
Yep.
Multiple times for holidays. He's met her
Yep.
grandparents, which is her family.
Yep.
Yeah, they were definitely a couple. They just didn't know. Only his work didn't know, but like family and friends knew.
Yeah, and the thing about that is that the reason why work didn't know for a couple of reasons. One, she super modded up. And,
very much so, yes.
And they are anti-mod. The supremacy is anti-mod. But then the second reason is that she's super introverted and doesn't like going out and doing
She doesn't
things.
She only leaves the house for like takeout or to go get more mods.
And
or
so kind of,
when they go on vacation, when they go visit like their families.
Vacation.
But she doesn't leave the house super often. She's a big homebody.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't like he wasn't keeping her secret. It was this kind of weird
it wasn't like an intentional, it just kind of happened that way.
Yeah, right. Like, for example, his name is not on the lease, right? So there's no technical, and he hadn't made a will. So there was no like technical legal thing that connected them, not on purpose that this shouldn't happen. And
they just didn't
he couldn't
think about it or talk about it.
And he doesn't like the people he works with so much. So he would never want to introduce her to them because they're kind of the worst. Plus also they would be judgy about her, and he didn't want her to be judged by them. And so he just kind of kept his work life and his private life very separate, which worked around all the way around, but it also then caused a couple of problems later. But it did mean that when he faked his death, he was pretty sure that they wouldn't know about her so that she would be safe. But some people betrayed them in pretty heavy ways, and so that was not something he could actually anticipate for. Yeah.
But also, would you consider that a breakup? If he's convinced Serena he's dead for multiple years.
Yeah, so is that a breakup?
Is that a breakup? That's the question here.
That's the question here.
Inquiring minds want to know if that's considered a breakup. Well, you just figure out whether or not that's a breakup.
So,
we're gonna say when answer the question number 2, because I think we've had enough time to think about it. When did your character fall in love with each other? I know Zarina's.
When?
It was when he snuck in that salad to the fondue factory.
Oh, that's so romantic. That's really romantic.
That was the moment that did it for her.
I think the moment for him when he fell in love with her was such a weird, strange thing, right? It was when she gave him a recommendation for a job that was not about his body way back in that first date. And it was in combination of her not going weirdly gaga over him when he asked her to take the shots of his like oiled up chest, because people often sort of objectified him.
Yes.
And she didn't. Plus, she also helped him out with something that was, when she recommended him for that AP job, basically, she told him that she thought that he was maybe not stupid, and that she saw him like in a different way than like everybody else sees him. And that like having somebody see him was, for kind of the first time, was one of those moments when he really fell in love with her. I think it was that moment in that first date. Like at the end of the first date.
I think it's really cute that he fell in love on the first date, and then for her, it was like the second date.
Yeah.
She's also a lot more introverted and doesn't like people, so.
But he's also younger and way more romantic. Like,
yes.
In that way.
Yeah. Zarina's not super mega romantic. She's.
No,
if you haven't noticed, she's
like, yeah. He's super romantic, and I think that it was one of the things that's where it started, and then as it took a while before they saw each other again, like a year.
Yeah.
And in that year, when it was just him being treated like he dealt with a bunch of like weird stuff happening, weird stuff. And then I think that was like, so the seed was there, and then like the second part, like it really helped solidify when she helped him get his like likeness off of the porn image.
Yeah.
Which was like, because he's not used to people doing things for him without wanting something, or just seeing him like and actually thinking about him and so that was like, he's like, wow, she actually sees me and cares about me, and like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing, right? Like this. And of course, seeing her talk about tech, like when she was in the like, that was like first date, second date, and the third date was like seeing her talk about tech with at the clinic was like, for him, he's like, oh my gosh, she's the most brilliant, amazing thing. And of course, when she like beat up the guy, like he just was like constantly falling in love with her. It's fine. Like like when she stopped the thief, like he's like, oh my god, she's so amazing.
I like how his was like a progression of like falling heads over heels, whereas hers was like not a lot of, oh, I'm okay. This is it now, I guess.
Yeah, and for him, it's like this continual process of like, oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Hers, it was just like when you open the door in your face. That was her. You're like, oh, okay, yep, oh, okay. All right, yeah, all right. That was her.
So now we have the last question.
which is, what are the long-term chances for this relationship?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, it goes really great for the next like 5 years.
Like 5, 6 years, yeah,
Yeah.
real great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are a couple moments where
There's
they
a.
didn't talk about
I mean,
things.
that's every relationship though. Every relationship has those moments, but it definitely
Some of theirs was a
continues
little bit heavier,
on
but it's fine.
for another 5 6 years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then someone fakes their death, and I feel like that's a breakup. But
I feel like Chet has not decided whether this is a breakup or not. So, you know, so does the answer depend on rather you are you still never see this
they're trying to figure that out.
we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, because they don't know, because they don't talk about it, and they haven't had time to talk about it because it was like, oh God, you're not dead, and then he's teleported away, and then we've rescued him. We've been dealing with supremacy chasing us, and people not like trying not to let people die on us, and so it's been very much. We want to talk about this, and we need to talk about this, but we haven't
Yeah.
been able to talk about it.
And then when we started getting a chance to start
And
having
there's
a
the clone.
conversation, rather than a conversation about them, it becomes about the clone.
Yeah,
So that's
awkward.
Yeah. So can I give the spoiler for what we're planning?
Yes, go for it.
You mind? Or maybe no, you should do it. You should do it.
Should I do
You
it? Okay,
Yeah, you should do
so
it.
just like we played this, like, one shot, this spin-off, this Aether's Walkway special, to see how Zarina, because we started the game with going, yeah, they were in a relationship for forever, and we thought it'd be really cool to explore that relationship to see how they would feel presently, to give us a little bit more backstory through role play to be able to determine where our characters go from there. So just like we used picking up the pieces, or not picking the pieces, breaking the ice. For this, we're going to be playing another tabletop RPG written by my friend Summer, who it's called Picking Up the Pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and it's two people who kind of have a broken relationship, and they go through a process to see if they get back together, if they're able to mend that relationship, or if it just stays broken.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a game that we play with Ramos and or Livewire and Zarina
Mm-hmm.
at a future date,
Mm-hmm.
at a future point in time.
But we have to wait for a moment in game where
In
they can have a
game,
conversation.
yeah, for them to be able to have a conversation, and then we'll do the
Yeah.
spin-off to see how that conversation goes.
Yeah.
Whew. That's gonna be a heavy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a heavy episode.
So one thing I think is really neat, this game, Breaking the Ice, which I recommend you all play it. Really
It's a
fun
lot of fun.
mechanics, really neat. And I love the way in which it's like 3 dates and you find out at the end of these dates, like what's going to happen with you all. Long-term compatibility. And either
It
way,
wasn't
we were
looking
talking about
good
this.
for us after the first date, but we made it come back.
No, but it's interesting because we were talking, Lindy and I, before we went live about how it actually either way would work. Either if we ended up with not compatibility, that means that those 7 years were complicated
Yeah.
between them. And this sort of break means like the fact that he faked his death and they have not been seeing each other for the last 2-3 years means something different, knowing that they have this amazing attraction, amazing compatibility than if they hadn't.
Yeah, which will be informing our decisions and our conversations when we play Picking Up the Pieces, and even when we play regular Aether's Walkway, because this game was going to let us decide if it was kind of like a rocky 7 years, or if it was, besides a couple of rocky moments where we have talked about specific incidents, like with Serena's black market mod addiction, and there was a certain, I believe it was like a gala event, a ball. Besides those two instances in their relationship, which was a big shake up for them, we know that based on this date, because we got really good scores at the end of it, that they had a really good relationship. There was high attraction levels, there was so much compatibility, so it's kind of gonna really be like, well, we had a lot going for us. What went wrong? Why'd you fake your death? There's gonna be a lot more of those questions rather than it just being like they were already kind of rocky to begin with, and it's definitely going to be like a where do we go from here, because we were so close. So, oof. It's going to be a big oof. But good questions, and this gives us a lot of information to decide where we want to go from here, which, I mean, I think it really helps us decide where we want to go from here with our characters. knowing that we had an amazing relationship, a lot of
Oh
attraction and
yeah,
compatibility.
totally. But also,
Yeah, and that hurts a lot and way more. It does.
yes,
Yeah,
it
than if they
does.
had a really rocky time. Oof.
Oh, right. And then also, I'm just going to say, we looked at picking up the pieces, and it's going to be rough.
Oh,
It's
it's gonna be real rough.
it's going to be rough. It's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
bad.
real
It's
rough.
gonna be oof. I'm gonna
It's
need
it's
like
oh,
wine. There might be crying. We'll
there might
see.
be crying. Uh, yeah, because
It's a
you
game where you just lay everything bare.
everything, and you see about all the things that have been broken and how the other person broke them,
How they
and
broke them
like
what if anything they're gonna do to fix it.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
and
I
then you
need
have to
an adult
decide,
alcohol for this, possibly.
and
But
then we
we'll
decide at the end
post
whether or
about
not they're
it.
going to get back together or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Whew. Okay, so here's the thing. I gotta go because I've got 2 hours before Kolos and I've got
You
prep to do.
do. So thank you, Trooper, for playing with me today for this final. Now we know how their first 3 dates went. It was really cute, and like, oh, they're so happy together. Which, oh, it's more heartbreaking. But oh,
I know.
and
Craig was
thank
just
you.
like, "Oh, Rames, you screwed." I was like, "I want to point out that both sides broke things." Just gonna point that out.
Both sides did break things. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but he does have the faked his death card. So that's.
I did fake my death. That is a true statement. There's
Um.
also something else going on with Livewire right now that I cannot tell you about.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's we're gonna lay it all out. We're gonna
we're
lay
gonna
it
let it
all
all
out. It's
out.
gonna be real brutal.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna
thank
be
you
real
all so much
brutal.
also for watching. We love having you guys support, and I loved reading your comics. Comics
Oh,
comments. I can't speak today. I'm so glad I'm not streaming later tonight. Um, but yeah, comments, they were great. Loved your commentary. Very exciting. Um, thank you all. You're lovely, and I hope you all have fun, play games, and maybe catch us next week for Aether's Walkway, where we get back into the current time and not a sweet date flashback. So
oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm
excited
so
too. All
excited. Yeah.
right, thank you. Have fun. Play games. Catch you later.
Thank you, everybody. Much love.